Sir, you're charged with especially aggravated kidnapping. You're also charged with aggravated assault, and you're charged with theft of a firearm worth less than $2,500.
You're talking about stuff that is not
You will
relevant.
bring the jury.
Hello and welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict, and boy, do I have a case for you today.
Why is the dog chewing on this guy?
I think they have got the wrong guy
They
there.
got the wrong guy, and the dog was biting him.
He roughing him up quite a bit. There's a lawsuit.
From safe.
9 out of 10 judges prefer watching the Recovery Addict live stream in their court.
The fireworks are not done.
Now we're getting commentary on the case. Dati mihi Anglican for you, service.
Is that correct?
I didn't ask you to interrupt me.
Literally not true.
All right, welcome back to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict. Hopefully you had a fantastic lunch and washed it all down with some delicious, tasty, and always refreshing Deer Park water. Not a sponsor yet. We're trying, though. Can't blame us for trying. Thank you, sample user. This live stream is the best. I don't know who was first in chat. I missed it.
Oh, for crumb's sake.
I know, I missed it. It was terrible. For crumb's sake, bring the jury. We are just in time. We're going to be going to court here in just a moment. Stand by. Let's see. I was watching that dog biting the wrong guy live when it happens. That was fun to watch. But man, California swept that one under the rug. Do you remember? We tried and tried to do FOIA requests, and we even got like people on the phone talking to us, hey, we can help you get the documents, and then it just disappeared. The word on the street was that the gentleman who got bit had a visit while he was in the hospital and got paid off then. That's what we heard, but documents, gone. All right, I think that's it. Let's see. My dog gets up and goes around the room whining when he hears the intro. Is he the only one? Like whining? He's so happy? No, I don't know. All right, they're talking about this trial on regular afternoon news right now. Yes, it could get spicy. I mean, I don't blame everyone for talking about it. We're right at the tail end of the trial, and we expect fireworks. So it should be good. Defense is brutal. I can convince the jury is totally zoned out, and this is just making them mad. Okay. If Ryan Hall, y'all, and Max Velocity and all the other internet weather watchers, not weather watchers, but weathermen, sorry, Weather Watch, didn't mean to throw you in under that bus. But all the other internet meteorologists are right, and we have another 1-2 punch storm coming in that's going to hit the East Coast. There's a chance that Fairfax County, Virginia, gets a bunch more snow this weekend. Why is that important? Well, it's Wednesday today, and the court is scheduled to be in session tomorrow. That's 2 days. The court is not scheduled currently for Friday, although we know the judge can call an audible, and we can hold court on Friday. They did that once before. But there's a possibility that, given the givens that we have right now, a given being the absolute truth that is fact. The defense lawyer is slow. I don't know how else to say that. That is a given. He's slow. It may take some time to get through his witnesses. I know he only has 3. He said he only had 3 this week, but we're still on the first one. So he's taking the stand. Woohoo. Yeah, he takes a stand. That's going to be slow as well. But do I need to go to the store and buy more milk, bread, and eggs? Yes, and toilet paper. Bolshevik come up at toilet paper. Hoard that. One day it will be worth its weight in gold. He's only got 1 speed, right? He's doing the right thing. Like he's getting it admitted. It looks like we're starting right now.
All right, we ready for the jury?
Let's just
Okay.
super slow about it. Let's brang the jury. I'm going to keep an eye out in the lobby, in the gallery, and see if there's a familiar face that shows up, because Rob's at work and he might make an appearance here in the gallery. eyes peeled here, see if we see him. Might. I know he's got work to do, so it's not like he's just there to watch court. But there's a chance. There's a chance he might be there.
All right, your next question.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Picking up where we left off.
Defense Exhibit 344 was already introduced, correct?
It's in evidence.
Thank you.
I don't know who won the internet. Greeners, was it you?
Sir, looking at Defense Exhibit 344,
Slow.
what, if anything, did you review as part of your digital forensic analysis?
This is analysis from the mobile device of Miss Muggleheis, and this particular artifact and the ones just before it and just after are all occurring around 11:08, 11:09, and various seconds. There are some redundancies in here. Many artifacts you'll see repeated twice. They're just different parts of the phone responding to a user action. And we can see just below the blue highlighted artifact, which is a Facebook message being sent by Ms. Muggleheis. We can see that the Facebook Messenger application is being launched around the same time, both before and after.
OG boy mama, 18 months. Thank you so much.
I'm going to
Almost
move
an
to the
OG.
next slide, Defense Exhibit 345. Sir, can you see the screen?
I can.
And can you identify Defense Exhibit 345 as something that you relied upon in your digital forensic analysis?
It is, and I did.
All right, move that in as Defense Exhibit 345.
Any objection? No objection. 345?
Sir, if you can just review this particular slide as to the importance to your digital forensic analysis and let the jury know what was important to you.
So there are a couple of exchanges here that are relevant. One particularly this date and the prior exchanges. So the highlighted exchange on the bottom is from this particular evening that we're discussing, February 23rd, 2023 at 11:11 p.m. The one prior to that is part of the exchange. The one prior to that is part of the same exchange. So we have the second one from the top is from February 18th, but it's expressing from the account purporting to be that of Ms. Banfield, saying that looking like my next availability is Friday, 2:24 in the morning, if that works. And then we have the response to that on the morning of the 23rd, and then we have a response from the account purporting to be that of Ms. Banfield late in the evening on the 23rd as well. So it's a back and forth discussing a potential get together, and this is on FetLife.
Cynthia, you need a diagram or a PowerPoint. I need an epidural.
Defense Exhibit 346.
This is painful.
Sir, can you identify the items in the slide, Defendant's Exhibit number 346, and if they are items that you utilized in your digital forensic analysis?
They are. This is a portion of the FetLife responsive documents pursuant to the search warrant.
If I could just hold it for 1 second, Your Honor, I'd move that into Defendant's Exhibit 346.
Any objection?
No objection.
346?
Sorry, please go ahead, Mr. Litsky.
No.
If you can tell, let me give you a question. If you can tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury what it is you relied upon as to this slide in your digital forensic analysis in this case.
So this was somebody initiated a password reset of the FetLife account on the night of February 23rd, 2023 at approximately 11:14 p.m.
Your Honor, I'm going to move to the next slide, which is Defense Exhibit 347.
What day did they change the password on the FetLife?
Sir, can you see this slide?
I can.
And is this something you relied on in your digital forensic analysis?
It is.
Your Honor, I move this in as Defense Exhibit number 347.
Any objection?
No objection.
347.
Sir, what can you point out, or what was the important part of this artifact and the matching results that show?
So this is analysis from Ms. Muggleheise's mobile device. And starting at the top, we can see user attributable activity consistently from 11:13, approximately 11:13 p.m., right through to launch of Netflix, which is the highlighted row, at 11:14 and 21 seconds. So all of this activity was occurring on her device, Ms. Muggleheise's device, at the time the password was being reset to the FetLife account.
Now, as to the date of February 23rd, 2023, have you rendered an opinion to a reasonable degree of scientific certainty as to the use of devices on this day?
I have.
Can you provide that?
Consistent with my other opinions that catfishing did not occur.
Objection, conclusion as to the ultimate issue here. He can testify.
What's your objection? Why don't you approach?
Objection, speculation.
Let's go.
They're going to approach anyway. Consistent with my other opinions that catfishing did not occur. Objection, ultimate conclusion. That's a decision for the jury because I believe that's basically charged. We'll see how they fight this off or fight this out at the bench. Unfortunately, we are live, so we cannot zoom, but it was quick, so back to it. Yay.
Yes, sir, please continue.
It's allowed.
So I based that opinion on what we've seen throughout the slides from the evening of February 23rd. We saw the laptop from log on around 10 p.m. straight through until almost 11 p.m., where aside from a brief injection of Telegram usage at 9:35 p.m., we saw searches exclusively for Dominican resorts. Right about 11 o'clock p.m., we saw the activity on the laptop stop and the phone start with regard to the resorts. And so the resort searches ran up through 11 p.m., transferred over to the phone where we saw a text message between Mrs. Banfield's device and Mr. Banfield's device on Facebook Messenger regarding the resort. So I've, based on the connectivity between the topics, the idea that somebody was independently using the laptop to search for resorts, and Mrs. Banfield, alone with her phone, happened upon the same resort.
Judge, objection calls for speculation.
Sustained at this time.
Okay.
So the laptop.
Wait for another question. Please sustain the objection.
In terms of connectivity of devices, what's important in the analysis of digital forensics?
Well, with digital forensics, as it pertains to this investigation, I'm looking for that break. I'm looking for, was one user absent from a device for an extended period of time that might present an opportunity for the device to be misappropriated by another person who then used it for a different purpose. I didn't see that. I saw continuous activity for the 90-minute period leading up to 11 o'clock on the laptop. Then I saw activity continuous both in topic and in use on the phone regarding the resorts. At 11 o'clock, 10:59 and change on the laptop, it began a sustained period of use with the Telegram app and extended communication between the account purporting to be that of Christine Banfield and that of Joe Ryan. So those three aspects of the analysis inform the conclusion that I've arrived at.
Thank you, sir. Your Honor, I'm going to move on to February 24th.
wish you'd at least stay chronological. Easy to follow. Oregon, it might be called Arrowhead. They've got a lot of sister companies that sell water under different names.
This would be identified as Defense Exhibit 348. Sir, do you identify this exhibit
I do.
relating to
I do.
February 24th, 2023?
I do.
And was this something that you utilized in your analysis of digital forensics?
It is.
Your Honor, I move that in as Defense Exhibit number 348.
Any
No
objection? 348.
Sir, can you explain to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury what we're looking at and what it is that you relied on in arriving at your conclusions regarding February 24th, 2023?
This is analysis from Mrs. Banfield's laptop from the morning of February 24th, 2023. This is a Telegram activation. That is, the app is opened and in use at 6:03 a.m., approximately 6:03 a.m. that morning.
And, Your Honor, I'm going to move on to Defense Exhibit number 349. Sir, do you recognize this exhibit?
I do.
And did you use this in your analysis of digital forensics in this case?
I do. I did.
Your Honor, I move in Defendant's Exhibit number 349.
Any objection?
No objection.
349.
Sir, what, if any, significance is this particular slide compared to the previous artifact?
The previous artifact was Telegram being activated on the laptop, and here are corresponding messages from the relevant accounts. That is the one purporting to be that of Christine Banfield and that of Joe Ryan.
Your Honor, I'm going to move to, I'm going to move to the next slide, which would be Defense Exhibit 350. Sir, can you see that slide?
I can.
And can you identify it?
I can. This is essentially the same as 348, just to reflect the end time of the Telegram activation.
Your Honor, move this in as Defense Exhibit number 350.
Any objection?
No objection.
350.
And what's the significant portions of this exhibit?
Yeah, just re-showing it with a focus now at the end, again, going in chronological order. We have the start at 6:03, then we saw some messages. This is the end of the Telegram desktop activation, at least this instance of it, occurring at approximately 6:26 a.m.
Your Honor, I'm going to move to Exhibit number 351. Sir, can you see this exhibit?
I can.
And can you identify it?
I can.
And was this something that you utilized in your analysis of the digital forensics in this case?
It is.
Your Honor, I move this in as Defense Exhibit 351.
Any objection?
No objection.
351.
Sir, can you explain to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury, what is it that you utilize from this to help inform your opinions?
This is analysis from Ms. Mogelheis's cell phone, and this shows the first steps, or the first physical activity that the device recorded on the morning of February 24th, 2023. Even though the first row is highlighted, which is step activity recorded by the phone itself, the second line down also includes activity from her Apple Watch, which was imported into the phone. So you'll see, we can see phone and watch recorded movement.
And what's the significance of the times in this analysis?
Well, according to her phone, the first steps she took that morning were 22 minutes after the telegram application was used on Miss Banfield's device, her laptop.
Your Honor, I would move to defense exhibit number
According to her phone.
352.
That would indicate that she woke up, went straight to the
Sir,
laptop.
can you see that defense exhibit number 352?
I can.
And is that something you relied on in your analysis for this case?
It is.
And Your Honor, I'd move this in as defense exhibit number 352.
Any objection?
No objection.
352.
Sir, can you explain to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury relating to 352 the significance of this document and this data?
Sure. In trying to apply some context in analyzing different aspects of the devices available to me, in this case, we can see a bit of a defined break, I think, in sort of inactivity to user attributable activity on Ms. Magalhaes' cell phone. So this is analysis from her cell phone. So everything above the blue highlighted row is sort of background activity that the phone might initiate on its own. But the first user-initiated activity, and an unlock is a user-initiated activity, doesn't occur until 6:27 on the morning of the 24th, and that's in proximity, I'd say, to the motion activity we saw on the prior slide.
And when you're talking about unlock activity, is that something that requires action?
It is. iPhones unlock only when a user causes it to unlock.
Your Honor, I'm going to move on to the next slide. It should be exhibit 353. Sir, do you see that slide?
I do.
And is this something you relied upon in arriving at your conclusions as to the 24th of February 2023?
It is.
Your Honor, I move this in as defense exhibit 353.
Any objection?
No objection.
353.
Sir, if you can tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury what it is that you relied upon and what was part of your analysis relating to this case.
Sure. Again, this is from Ms. Magalhaes' cell phone. I think I alluded to this a moment ago. This is just to reflect her watch, a bit off in timing from her phone, but similarly in the 6:30-ish hour, recording its first steps of the morning.
Your Honor, I'm going to move to defense exhibit 354. Sir, do you recognize this picture?
I do.
And what, if anything, did you utilize this picture for in your analysis?
Just for relative location of Mr. Banfield on this morning at a point in time.
I was reading an update on Sarah Grace Patrick.
Your Honor, I may move this in as defense exhibit 354.
Any objection?
No objection.
354.
That's what I was watching on Twitter.
Your Honor, I move forward with the slide to defense exhibit 355. Sir, is this a slide that you relied upon in your investigation of this case?
It is. It's part of the surveillance video from McDonald's.
Your Honor, I move this in as defense exhibit 355.
Any objection?
No objection.
355.
And what if anything is significant regarding this still picture?
This is just, again, I think it shows us where Mr. Banfield was at a particular time on the morning of February 24th.
Your Honor, I'm going to move to defendant's exhibit 356. And Sir, what, if any, use did you have for this in your investigation of this case?
Yeah, it's a continuation of the McDonald's. These are stills from the McDonald's surveillance video we saw earlier. Again, just ascertaining where Mr. Banfield was at a particular time, in this case, 7:37 on the 24th of February, 2023.
Your Honor, I'd move this in as Defendant's Exhibit 356.
Any objection?
No objection.
356.
Your Honor, I'm going to move to Defendant's Exhibit 357. Sir, do you recognize this slide?
I do.
And is this something that you utilized in your digital forensic analysis in this case?
It is.
And can you just describe what this is briefly?
This is further analysis from Ms. Magalhaes' cell phone. Again, recording movement from both the phone, in this case from the phone itself.
And there's a highlighted portion. Does that coincide with the artifact information and the evidence information on the right-hand side?
It does.
Your Honor, I move this in as Defense Exhibit 357.
No objection.
All right, 357.
Your Honor, I'm moving to Defense Exhibit 358. Sir, do you recognize this slide?
I do.
And do you recognize the, or did you use this in your digital forensic analysis?
I did.
Okay, and Your Honor, I move this in as Defense Exhibit 358.
All right, any objection?
No objection.
358.
We're cruising right through these numbers.
Sir, can you explain to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury what the significance of these artifact and evidence information and matching results?
I can. So this slide and the one before it, if you want to jump back to it, one reflects, the first one reflected the steps Ms. Magalhaes took that morning between 7:18, approximately 7:18 and 7:24 a.m. This particular slide reflects the steps recorded by her watch between approximately 7:23 a.m. and 7:24 a.m. Both devices are consistent in that they recorded steps up to around 7:24 a.m. And then they didn't.
They did, and then
Sir,
they
I'm
didn't.
going to take this opportunity to go back, as you indicated in the other slide.
Don't go back, just go forward.
And can you point out for the ladies and gentlemen jury what your comparison was?
Sure. So, and these are the phone steps. They start a bit earlier. The successive 3 rows are watch steps incrementally, so they sort of span the same time frame, but they record the data in different ways. So this is 7:18 to 7:24. The steps recorded until the step activity stops. In this case, it's 7:24:04 a.m. And then on the watch, 3 rows down, which is reflected on the other slide, we also similarly see that the step count stops at 7:24 and 9 seconds a.m.
This is so monotonous after each question I expect to hear.
Alex stole it as well.
Looking at.
Alex stole it.
Yep.
And Alec Murdoch stole it.
It just takes me back to the days.
Your Honor, I'm going to move on to slide Defense Exhibit 358. 359,
359.
sorry. Sir, are you familiar with this?
I am.
Is this something you relied on your for your digital forensic analysis?
It is.
Your Honor, move in this Defense Exhibit number 359.
Any objection?
No objection.
359.
Sir, can you explain to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury the significance of this artifact?
So this is further analysis from Ms. Magalhaes' cell phone, and this shows us the resumption of activity, of physical activity of steps beginning at approximately 7:42 a.m. This was recorded by her phone.
Your Honor, I'm going to move to Defense Exhibit number 360. Sir, do you recognize this?
I do.
And what is it?
This is a geolocation point that Ms. Magalhaes' iPhone automatically plotted for her. It's referred to a parked car location.
Your Honor, I move this in as Defense Exhibit 360.
Any objection?
No objection.
360.
And sir, explain for the ladies and gentlemen of the jury how that interacts with the previous artifacts that you've discussed.
From my understanding of the facts of the investigation was that for a period of time, Ms. Magalhaes left the house, remained in her car on the morning of the 24th, and then exited when Mr. Banfield arrived back at home, and together they entered the house at some point. I believe the timing of the step count on both devices stopping at 7:24. We haven't seen the watch yet, but it resumes as the iPhone did right around 7:42 a.m. So both devices stop recording movement at 7:24 approximately, resume at approximately 7:42, and we have a parked car location that the iPhone automatically detected just before 7:42. So I believe this is the time where Ms. Magalhaes, at least her devices, but may have been located in the car.
Your Honor, I'm going to move on to Defense Exhibit 361. Sir, do you recognize this exhibit?
I do.
And was this something you used in your analysis for this case?
It is.
Your Honor, I move that in as Defense Exhibit 361.
Any objection?
No objection.
361.
Can you explain to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury exactly what this slide shows, including the highlighted part?
I do. This is, as I mentioned a moment ago, this is Ms. Magalhaes' cell phone reporting the activity recorded by her Apple Watch. So this, again, shows the resumption of steps in and around 7:42 a.m. on the morning of the 24th.
Your Honor, I'm going to move to Defense Exhibit number 362. Sir, can you identify this exhibit number 362?
I can.
And is this something that you relied upon in arriving at your digital forensics conclusions in this case?
It is.
Can you explain, Your Honor, move this in as Exhibit 362?
Any objection?
No objection.
362.
Can you explain this exhibit and how it's significant in terms of February 24th, 2023?
So this is analysis from Ms. Banfield's laptop. This recorded a Windows logon for Ms. Banfield's profile at approximately 7:33 on the morning of the 24th. It's significant in that Mr. Banfield was at McDonald's.
Objection calls for speculation.
Totally destroying the bathroom at the time.
It's significant
not
that
go in
Mr.
there.
Banfield was recorded on surveillance video at McDonald's. And Ms. Magalhaes' step count and devices appear to reflect inactivity corresponding with the time she may have been in her car outside of the house, which, to me, that leaves, potentially one person in the house.
Here comes an objection.
Just by process of elimination, would have been responsible for this activity.
Objection calls for speculation.
There it is. Okay, so that was an important
So
one,
we'll
though.
move on to
The au pair's seated,
Defense Exhibit
not taking steps in the
363.
car, presumably, and he's destroying the bathroom at McDonald's, and the laptop's in use.
Sir, can you identify that?
I can.
And what, if anything, did you rely on this as your analysis for digital forensics?
I did.
Your Honor, I move this in as Defense Exhibit 363.
Any objection?
No objection?
363.
Sir, what, if any, significance does this have as to the analysis of February 24th, 2023?
So this is, I've spoken a number of times, I believe, about security identifier profile or security ID or SID. It's the long number we can see in the highlighted row in the middle. It's also appears on the right. This is just a look at that security identifier and the details associated with it. So this is looking on the far left, we can see this is a look into the user accounts that are present on this laptop with this security identifier highlighted. And then on the right, we can see all of the details, obviously the full name of Christine Banfield, the use name, which is an email address, and the rest of her profile attributes.
And sir, based upon all of these exhibits that you've now explained to the jury, did you have an opportunity to come to a opine about the devices that were being used this day to a reasonable degree of scientific certainty?
I did.
And can you explain to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury what that opinion is?
I believe Mrs. Banfield was awake that morning.
Objection, calls for speculation.
Sustained, we have to stick with the devices. Yes.
Mrs. Banfield's laptop was manipulated
The laptop was awake.
at a point where other devices had left, I believe, had left the residence, and before anybody, to include Mr. Ryan, had arrived at the residence.
Thank you, sir. Judge, I don't have any further questions.
We're done.
Cross-examination.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Okay, we're good. Get a little celebration there. Okay, that was the big one. That was the big smoking gun. Her devices were active while they were gone. She was on them. Defense just sits down, basically. The state's like, whoa, oh, it's now, okay. Hey, do we see Rob anywhere? Is Rob there? I don't see Rob. He might be on the other side of the courtroom.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
Well, thank you.
All right, so let's just go chronologically. I think it's probably a bit clearer that way. We start back on January 9th, 2023, 11:10 p.m. The Gmail account is created on a Samsung device. Is that correct?
Mobile device, yes.
Okay, and a Samsung S21 is owned by both Christine and Brendan Banfield. Is that correct?
His government phone.
Okay. You told us that Juliana's phone is not in the house on that day, but Brendan Banfield's devices are both present, correct?
To my knowledge, they were, yes.
Okay. When we then move to January 17th, 2023, we have what I'm going to ask the court share as
Yes.
defenses 128 previously admitted. If I can have just a second to get to it. If that could be shared with the jury.
Yes.
All right, so this is the photograph that we know to be taken of Christine Banfield by herself at Lifetime Fitness. Were you able to establish, as our investigators did, that this was Lifetime Fitness?
I saw that they had established it, and I didn't see anything to.
Okay, so, and this is taken at 7 p.m.-ish, correct?
This is actually the sending of the photo from Mrs. Banfield to Mr. Banfield. The prior slide was the taking of the photo at 7:20, but this is the photo that was taken.
Perfect, you're moving us right along. So she sends the photo to her husband, who then comments, nice, right?
Yes, down at the bottom, in the middle.
Okay, so while she's at Lifetime Fitness, she takes this selfie, sends it to her husband via Facebook Messenger. He comments, nice. And then just before 10 o'clock, someone with access to cbanfieldrn@gmail.com logs onto a laptop in the Banfield home, accesses Facebook, and pulls this picture down. Is that correct?
Yes, that's
Okay.
correct.
And then sends this picture using CBRN 920 to CBRN 920, correct?
Yes,
Okay, and then this picture is taken and added to the new FetLife account, correct?
it was manipulated in between.
Okay, so by manipulated, it was cropped, correct?
It was cropped.
Okay, so the laptop in the house belonging to the Banfields joins FetLife all while logged in as CBRN 920 at Gmail, right?
My understanding is the laptop was actually owned by Anova. And
Oh, I'm sorry, I meant the house owned by the Banfields. The laptop that we're examining here is in the house owned by the Banfields, correct?
yes,
Okay, and that laptop searches for FetLife, correct?
yes,
And that laptop joins FetLife under the CBRN 920 at Gmail email, right?
it does.
Okay, and the laptop edits the Lifetime Fitness photo.
Yes, not all in order, but yes.
Okay, and meanwhile, all of this is going on the laptop. On the phone that we understand to belong to Christine Banfield, someone is using WhatsApp to talk about Valerie's day, right?
Yes,
And then by 10:45-ish, someone is Googling Lululemon, frozen tickets, and the story about the child who had their leg amputated, correct?
yes,
And then checks the C Banfield Gmail account at 11:30, correct?
I believe that's correct.
Okay, so you acknowledge we're talking about two different devices, right? The laptop and the phone, two different things happening.
Yes,
Okay.
At the same time.
And you can't say who was in control of either device. All you can tell us is what the devices are doing. Correct?
correct.
Okay. And in fact, let's look at this. Apart from this usage on January 9th, 2023, the date of the initial creation of the CBRN email and the receiving of the Telegram two-factor authentication, I think, Christine Banfield's cell phone is never used to further this scheme, correct?
That's inaccurate.
Oh, I'm sorry, can you tell us where Christine Banfield's cell phone was used to communicate on FetLife or Telegram?
It was used for FetLife on February 14th, 2023.
You had not testified to that before. I'm sorry, when was it used on February 14th?
Just after midnight.
The phone, Christine Banfield's cell phone.
The same model cell phone, yes.
Ah, okay. A Samsung S21 was used on FetLife on January 14th.
Correct.
Okay. So going back to, we have no other usage of FetLife or Telegram with Christine's phone as this progresses beyond January 14th when we have an unknown S21 using FetLife, correct?
February 14th, but correct.
Okay, sorry. All right, so when we then look to, let's say, our next event on January 23rd, you've told us that 11:22, the CBRN at Gmail, CBRN 920 Gmail is logged into on the laptop, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and you gave us 6 exhibits to show that Brendan Banfield was not at home when the FetLife chat was initiated, some 7 minutes later, correct?
Correct.
Okay, but you
She
have
was
not
taking
told
notes
us where
the whole
Juliana
time.
Perez Magalis was, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and we see from the FetLife chat, I'm gonna ask the court to share Defense 191.
Jury's like, thanks for taking notes for me. This makes so much more sense.
I've got 181.
191.
191, but Judge, I have 181 pulled up instead. We can just talk about it. In Defense Exhibit 191, one of the FetLife checks, we see the discussion between parties, and the Anastasia persona says, "How has been your experience so far?" Correct?
Correct.
Okay. On January 30th of 2023 at 10:47 p.m., the CBRN 920@gmail account logs in to FetLife again, correct?
It does, I believe.
Okay, and we went through 7 exhibits to show that Brendan Banfield was in Reston near the Lifetime Fitness at 10:52 p.m. But Juliana Perez Magalhaes was at home, correct?
I believe she was.
Okay, and had been since she left Lifetime ahead of Brendan Banfield, correct?
I believe she also arrived ahead of him, but yes.
Okay, and in Defense 194, we looked at the FetLife chats, and we see, again, the phrasing, "I don't plan on having many people anyways." That was one of the chats that occurred while Juliana was home and Brendan was at somewhere, correct?
It's a portion of the activity that occurred that evening.
Okay. Looking at February 7th of 2023, 10:02 p.m., CBRN logs into the laptop, FetLife, and we have 4 exhibits to show us that Brendan Banfield is at a Sunoco, correct?
I can't see them, but I believe that's
Okay,
accurate.
and
Gas
we don't
station.
have any idea why he's hanging out at a Sunoco at 10 p.m., do we?
I assume
Probably
getting gas,
getting
but
gas.
I don't know. I was
Well,
not there.
he's there for a bit, correct?
3 minutes?
Okay, all right. So looking then at February 13th of 2023, 7:33 a.m., we have the CBRN login, again on the laptop, again to FetLife, and again we have 7 exhibits to show that Brendan Banfield is not in the home, but we don't know anything about Juliana, but for the fact that she's at home, correct?
Yes, and the fact that
Well, that was the answer to my question, thank you. On February 17th, same story, 11:19, CBRN login on the laptop. He's not at the house, 6 exhibits to show us he's not at the house, but we got nothing on Juliana Perez Magalhaes, and we have a FetLife exchange that asks something about liking Nurse in the Scrub, correct?
again, not seeing it, but it sounds accurate.
Okay. February 19th,
In the scrub.
2023. The laptop is looking for secure messaging apps. You brought out the fact that the 2-factor authentication codes that are sent to the phone are not deleted. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, but these are text messages that come through. You have requested this code if you didn't call for help, right? Something to that effect. We all get
Essentially.
those all the time, right?
We do.
Okay.
I do.
I do.
The witness seems constipated right now.
and
He's
when
not
we-
liking this.
Move on to February 20th, 2023, at 10:58. We've got the laptop at home, in use. And again, the location data suggests that both Juliana and Brendan are at Lifetime Fitness, right? Do you remember this one? This one's noteworthy because she's not on FetLife.
She being,
Christine, presumably, right? The laptop is not on FetLife. The laptop is not on Telegram during this window when Juliana and Brendan are both absent from the home.
that might be. I'd have to look, but I think there was a period of time. There's obviously a period of time before the activity occurs where
Okay.
I don't know where everybody is.
Right. Well, but we know that the adults are out of the house, but for Christine, presumably, and she's not using this opportunity to hook up online, right?
I guess that's fair.
Right.
Okay. But as soon as Juliana gets home, which we know because her iPhone connects to the home network at 11:06, by 11:08, we're logged on, talking on FetLife, right?
Possibly, I'd have to see the slides, but that sounds right.
Okay, I'm just noting from your testimony. If it sounds incorrect, let me know, we can dig in. But to the best of your recollection, did you testify that 11:08 CBRN is logged on, and then from that point, we move forward to chats with FetLife?
It sounds accurate, yes.
Okay. At 11:58 that same night, Christine Banfield's phone sends a text message to Brendan Banfield, I think it's Facebook Messenger again, saying that she's going to bed. Bring up the toilet paper, and Brendan responds, "I'll be up in a couple," correct?
I remember that, yes.
Okay, and then we see that Christine's phone, again, the phone, continues to browse Sheen, nursing schools, and pens, right?
Sounds familiar.
Okay, meanwhile, literally 2 minutes later, Telegram is in use on the laptop. Correct?
Sounds accurate.
Right, so on the dot, midnight, that Telegram call takes place on the laptop. 2 minutes after her husband says, "I'll be up in a couple." Correct?
Sounds accurate, yes.
Okay. Moving to February 21st, this one didn't fall into your timeline, but did you see the Google return? And let me just show you, Commonwealth's 243, Judge, I would offer at this point in time. And if I can have that displayed to the witness and to counsel.
All right.
Mr. Olitsky, do you recognize this magnet report? I'm going to scroll down so you can see the processing details and then the extraction location, and then here we have the activity. Is this a magnet report from the Commonwealth's extractions of the devices?
This is not one I've seen before.
Okay. If I were to draw your attention
Hasn't seen it before?
the device.
This is so refreshing to hear after 4 hours of teeth getting pulled.
As a Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra, which we understand to be Mr. Banfield's phone. Does that help you identify this document?
I believe that's the model phone he has, but this document looks like it was generated 2 days ago.
Correct. Because again, it's an extraction, it's a report from the previous extraction. Are you telling me you don't recognize the phone as the defendant's?
I believe that's the model phone he had, yes.
Okay.
Hang on, this
Do you
is
need another
from
minute to look at this?
2 days ago? They created this over
I
the
haven't
weekend?
really seen anything that,
How about that? Is that helpful?
The state put this together over the weekend?
Okay, and we can see that we've got the extraction, we've got the dump data, and then we see that this is a search performed on Google by Mr. Banfield's phone on February 21st, 2023 at 11:35 a.m. searching delete your activity, Android, Google account help. Is that correct?
it is.
Okay, Your Honor, the Commonwealth would offer this in evidence as Commonwealth's 243.
Any objection? Put your microphone on again.
We'd object
What's your
what?
legal objection?
Legal objection, it's hearsay. It's Detective Miller's report. It's a way of getting around their expert coming to testify.
All right. Yes, sir.
Judge, it's an extraction and a magnet report based on the extraction, the same thing this gentleman's been testifying to as materials that he reviewed to perform his analysis.
If you want to approach.
Sure.
I'm not sure if she's going to get this one in. So it's a report. You can't just bring this in. It doesn't have the foundation. I think the objection should be foundation for that. She can't testify and say, this is whatever. Now, she could get him to testify. He says, I've never seen this before. So that he can't provide the foundation for this. I don't think it comes in. I think she'll have to bring this in on rebuttal, which would be perfect for rebuttal. If she still has the gentleman on subpoena. But wow, what a change night and day. Energy has been injected into this courtroom. We spent 4 hours fighting to keep our eyes open as we got what if any artifacts, and now we get spice. And it tastes good. It tastes good.
43 in evidence.
Thank you.
It's brought in.
All right, so again, we've identified this is a Google search for delete your activity, Android Google account help, correct?
It is.
Okay. February 23rd,
Is she gonna flip the witness?
2023. We've got at 9:25 p.m., is the night before the murder. All of the devices are home, correct?
Can you say the time again, please? I'm sorry.
9:25 p.m., February 23rd, 2023, night before the murder. All of the devices are home.
I believe so, yes.
Okay, and from 9:25 to 9:40, the laptop is looking at Dominican resorts, correct?
I believe that's accurate, yes.
Okay, but for 2 minutes, 9:35 to 9:37, when someone hops on Telegram real quick, sends a message, and then pops back off, right?
That is accurate, the
Okay.
timing.
We don't see Telegram in use on the laptop again until 11 o'clock that night.
Correct?
The same time that we see Christine Banfield's phone pick up the search for Punta Cana resorts, correct?
It wasn't a search, it was a message with a link to a specific resort.
Okay, great. The phone gets busy planning this vacation. Accurate?
Sure, yes.
Okay. You pointed out that there was a gap in the phone usage from 9:51 to 11 o'clock when it picks up with the resort, correct?
That was only with regard to either messaging or website visitation.
Okay. You can't say that Christine and Brendan weren't planning a family vacation, can you?
I can't say they weren't.
Correct. You don't know. They could have been sitting at the kitchen table planning a family vacation that night. You have no way of knowing, right?
I do not.
Okay. And we only have those 2 minutes of Telegram usage. You can't say that he didn't hop on the laptop really quick, check Telegram while she was in the bathroom, hopped off before she got back to their vacation planning, can you?
I cannot.
Okay. But at 11 p.m., we know that the two devices diverge in what they're doing. The laptop moves into heavy, sustained Telegram usage with Joe Ryan, and the phone goes off to bed searching for vacations.
I didn't say, and I don't think I could say that the phone's necessarily separated physically. There's no evidence to suggest that they did or didn't.
Okay, okay, but their usage certainly separates in tenor, if you will.
The laptop transitioned to Telegram and FetLife-centric activity, and the phone, started with the vacation messaging and then just went into benign activity, minimal benign activity after that.
All right, Judge, I would ask the court to share Commonwealth's 209 with the witness and counsel. Start at the top. Mr. Litsky, does this one look familiar to you?
It does. It doesn't, it doesn't, but.
It doesn't, it doesn't.
Okay.
It
Pains
does.
him to see it.
Do you recognize this as a report from the extraction of Christine Banfield's cell phone?
I believe that's what it is. I thought the extraction from her cell phone had a different name, but otherwise it comports with that, yes.
And you were able to register from this document the activity of Christine Banfield's cell phone on the morning of the murder, is that correct?
Yes, I see that.
Judge Commonwealth would offer this as Commonwealth's 209.
Any objection?
No, you're.
Okay, 209.
Okay, and we can see from this document that at 6:46 a.m., Christine Banfield's phone is shut down, correct?
This would indicate that a shutdown profile was initiated, yes.
And Judge, if I can cut and move to Commonwealth's 207. This is the Do you recognize this document?
I believe I've seen this, yes.
Okay. And this is just the deeper dive into what the phone did as it began its shutdown procedure. Is that correct?
Correct.
Commonwealth would offer this as 207.
Any objection?
Okay.
207.
So with Christine's phone powered off at 6:46 a.m., we then know that Mr. Banfield is, as you correctly stated, seen on surveillance video at the McDonald's at 7:29 a.m., correct?
I think from about 7:20 to 7:37, yes.
Okay. He's there a while, correct?
He leaves and returns.
Okay. And then he goes into the bathroom for 7 minutes, right?
I believe that's about accurate, yes.
And at 7:24, you've told us that Juliana's steps stop. She's just waiting in her car, correct?
I don't know where she was or what she was doing, but her step count stopped, and I believe that's consistent with
Her sitting in the car.
what from interviews and other witness statements, yes, that comports.
Okay, but you didn't track her travel to someplace else, correct? You said you don't know that she's waiting in her car, but you know she didn't go anywhere else, right?
That's correct.
Okay. And at 7:37, you know from the call records that Mr. Banfield receives a phone call from Juliana, correct?
Correct.
Okay. He does not call 911, correct?
I don't believe he did.
Okay. And at 7:42, you told us that Juliana is moving again.
Yes, that's correct.
All right. So from approximately 7:25, 7:30, we have both Juliana and Mr. Banfield just not going anywhere, correct?
And out of the house, correct.
Okay. A couple of things I want to ask you about. Not sure if you can answer, but did you notice that on January 13th and 14th, there was no activity on FetLife or on Telegram while Juliana and Mr. Banfield were out of state?
I'm not sure I noticed all of those things put together, but I know there were periods of inactivity, yes.
Okay, and another such period of inactivity was January 31st to February 1st when Brennan and Juliana were together in Winchester, Virginia?
That I am more familiar with, yes.
Okay. And just to be perfectly clear, we've been through a lot here, and we've made it very clear, I think, that you can only testify to what the phones were doing. You cannot tell us who was manipulating the phones. You cannot tell us who made the phones do the things. You can only tell us what the phones were doing, what the laptop was doing, and where it was located when those acts occurred, correct?
That's one part of my analysis.
Okay, thank you. I don't have anything further, Judge.
Redirect.
No further questions. Let's see. How are you going to save that?
Mr. Litsky, in terms of your testimony, when you're looking at devices, you're looking to determine if there are points or there are times when devices can be taken or can be moved or taken away from the person who would otherwise be, it would be their device, correct?
Objection.
Yes, in a scheme as the one described in this investigation or the one alleged in this investigation, absolutely.
And we're talking about, you're talking about a scheme, you're talking about a catfishing scheme, right?
That is correct.
And so one of the items that you look to is where are gaps where control can be lost, correct?
Yes, not only gaps where control could be lost, but gaps where there was positive control, if that makes sense.
And what do you mean by positive control?
Well, on the night of the 23rd of February, We have sustained activity from 10:59 p.m. through 11:49 p.m. So that's a full, it's almost an hour. It's 15 minutes. So that's an hour where a laptop, to Ms. Sands' point, that maybe was being shared together as a vacation was being planned. We have a phone that's still active and in use. So that's a full hour where the laptop is just, missing based on one aspect of this theory. And that's, inconsistent with somebody who might be used to having their device close by. On the night of January 17th, we have the FetLife photograph downloaded to Ms. Banfield's laptop at, I think, 10:03 p.m. And then 45 minutes later is when it was edited and uploaded to the FetLife site. So whoever performed the activity at 10:48 that evening and manipulated the photo and uploaded it and created FetLife had to have known and been the one that downloaded it 45 minutes earlier at 10:03. So that's a gap where either the entire laptop was, out of Ms. Banfield's possession through the government's theory, or somebody went in, performed some activity, got out, came back 45 minutes later, took the laptop and continued what they were doing. So there are stretches. It may not just be for a 2-minute instance when somebody's at the bathroom. And my analysis and my opinions transcend the entirety of the window here from January 9th up to the morning of February 24th. So one instance might be explainable. 3 becomes a bit of a pattern. More than that becomes a trend. So I'm looking at this activity over time, over space, happening again and again and again and again, and whether or not it makes sense that the mechanics of the theory of catfishing sort of sustain over that time period, and I hope that makes sense. I'm also looking for consistencies in witness statements. I'm looking at whatever other data points I can observe in the analysis.
Now, with regard to a theory such as catfishing, there are inconsistencies that you'd look for if you're
Objection leading.
Correct?
Sustained.
What, if any, inconsistencies would you look for if you were investigating catfishing? Or consistencies?
Well, there are a number of things that to me don't make sense. So the idea of, say, deleting the Telegram two-factor authentication message so that Ms. Banfield would not see it in the morning and realize that somebody had tampered with her device.
Objection calls for speculation.
Sustained.
Should I just rephrase or?
No.
No, you should wait for the next question.
In terms of the data that you've analyzed, well, let me start over and ask you this way. These 3 accounts that were created in January are inextricably intertwined, correct?
Objection leading.
Sustained.
What, if any, connection is there between these 3 accounts?
They
are intertwined. As I believe I testified, the Gmail account was used to set up the FetLife account. The FetLife account was used to transition certain parties over to Telegram communication, so that whoever set up the FetLife account needed to have access to and be aware of the Gmail account. Whoever was using the Telegram account in this instance needed to be aware of the FetLife account. And the Gmail account, unless you knew it existed and knew what the password was, you wouldn't log into it. You couldn't log into it. It's like every other Gmail account we don't know about.
And that would get everything else started, correct?
Objection leading.
Sustained leading.
And would that be required for the other 2 accounts?
Yes, the Gmail account was required to set up the FetLife account, access to the Gmail account to confirm the FetLife account, and the Telegram account was dependent on the FetLife account. So anybody who has knowledge of any one of the 3 accounts owns them all, in essence. You wouldn't stumble upon the Telegram account and just pick up a conversation that's been
Objection
on.
calls for speculation.
Sustained is speculation.
What's the likelihood of discovering an account such or
Objection, foundation.
Finish your question.
what's the likelihood of continuing conversations that you discover that come from FetLife or from Telegram?
Objection, foundation.
Sustained is the foundation if you know the foundation.
In terms of the theory of catfishing, did you have an opinion as to whether the alleged scheme by the Commonwealth is consistent or inconsistent with catfishing?
Objection, asked and answered.
Sustained.
Have I asked that question?
And many more, but yes.
Yes.
Many more, many
Let's
times.
call your attention to 7:33 on February 24,
This is
2023.
brutal. There should be a mercy
Do you
rule.
remember what, 7:33 a.m.?
Yes.
Do you remember what device was being used at that time?
Objection, asked and answered.
Sustained.
I don't
What, if
remember that
any-
one.
Based upon what you know through your investigation, were you able to conclude whether or not Christine Banfield had lost control of her device on that day?
Objection calls for speculation.
I'll sustain the objection.
Your Honor, it's based upon his
If you want to
investigation.
approach, we can do talking objections.
I think he might be able to say this one. I think it might get in. He is an expert. Experts can do a little bit of testifying beyond just the hard evidence they witnessed, right? We know that. As an expert, he should be allowed to share some of his conclusions to a reasonable degree of whatever expert opinion it is. So I think that last one should come in. The judge is almost over. I think the judge is tired with the petty objections, right? It's like, yeah, it's true. He's leading. That's sustained. Maybe she's just tired with him leading. Good thing we didn't count objections on this one. Yeah. I think we're close to getting an afternoon break, possibly once this witness is done, I think.
In terms of January 9th, is it true that, what if
Objection,
anything
leading.
would someone need to know in order to carry on these other
Was that leading?
account openings?
Objection calls for speculation.
Overruled if you can answer, that's fine.
I'm sorry, can you repeat?
As to January 9th, what if anything would someone need to know in order to open up these other accounts?
So January 9th was the email account opening, the Gmail account opening. You just have to know how to open an account on Gmail, I guess. I'm sorry if I'm missing.
Well, okay, and if you did not open up that account on Gmail, how would you know, what other means by which could you know about these other accounts?
Objection calls for speculation.
I'll sustain the objection to that question.
In examining the accounts that are at the heart of this, which would be the Gmail account, the FetLife account, and the Telegram account, we've already gone over. Gmail is crucial to that, correct?
It started, yes, it was required for the FetLife account.
And in order to open the Telegram account, you would need the Gmail account?
Objection asked and answered.
Sustain.
Okay. If you were not present at the Gmail account, would it be possible to open up the Telegram after it had been created?
The Telegram was not dependent on the Gmail account, but it fed off the FetLife account, which was dependent on the Gmail account.
Okay, and so the same question. If you weren't involved in setting up the suspect Gmail account, would you be able to communicate on FetLife?
Objection calls for speculation.
He's allowed to answer that.
Overruled, if you can answer this one.
I'm sorry, could you ask it again, please?
If you weren't involved in setting up the Gmail account on January 9th, would you be able to participate in FetLife conversations when that was open on January 17th?
No, you couldn't operate FetLife without access to the Gmail account.
And counsel has said to you that you can't know who's behind any particular device, correct?
Correct.
And in digital forensics, that's generally the way it goes.
Objection leading.
Correct?
Overruled, if you can answer.
Generally, but inferences can be made with additional context and additional data points.
And so the analysis and the experience that one requires in order to come to those conclusions is in replace of having an eyewitness or having a camera or anything like that.
Objection
correct?
leading.
Sustained.
What are the tools that you use in order to arrive at conclusions, other than having
Objection
a camera?
asked and answered.
Sustained, asked and answered.
Other than having a camera on someone and knowing if they're using a device,
Asked and answered.
what, if anything, can you do as a digital forensic examiner in order to arrive at opinion relating to use of device or not using their device?
Well, quite simply, if there are 3 people involved in an allegation and 2 people can be confirmed out of the house, then I think a strong inference can be made that the 3rd person in the house is responsible for device activity or internet activity, account activity that occurs from the house.
Now, was the Telegram application always on the laptop?
Objection asked and answered.
Sustained.
I don't have any further questions, Your Honor.
All right, you can have a seat, sir. Thank
He
you.
waves the white flag
I assume
and
he's
does
not
the walk
subject
of
to
shame
recall,
back
correct?
to the defense counsel table.
Okay, you're free to go if you'd like, or you can stay. All right, thank you.
But you're off the
I think we'll
clock,
go ahead and take
sir.
our afternoon break. That sound good? All right, let's go ahead and take our 15-minute afternoon break. Please don't do any outside research, and do not talk to anybody about the case, okay? Thank you.
Okay, what that was both attorneys wanted the final word from this witness. It's a little harder for the state because the state doesn't get to go last. Defense does. But they managed to get the last word by objecting to everything the defense tried to bring in.
If I could have the attorney's approach first for a second.
And because of that, she was able to flip the witness's testimony a little bit, proving that everything he testified to did in fact not prove Brendan's innocence, but just show that there was still a possibility that he was involved, and then have it stop there and not let the defense retake ground. Now the redirect is supposed to be addressing things that the cross brought
Recess
up.
till 3:35.
3:35. We got a longer break here. Quick break. I don't know what's going up next as far as who the witness is, but that was refreshing. That went very quickly. I like it. I like it a lot. So if you slept through everything this morning, hopefully you woke up for the spice at the end. The state is on fire. They've got their A game on. I love that they kept notes throughout all the defense presentation of Exhibit 320 on your screen. Is that something you recognize? What, if any, artifacts from this exhibit did you find impactful in the event at hand? They slept through all of that. And, well, we slept through all of that, and the state did not. They kept notes, and they're like, you said this, 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 and this, but this happened here. And if you look here, you said this, and that happened at that time. Look at these. We compare those two. Is this two different things happening, different places? So one person on the phone is doing this, and now somebody else on the laptop's doing that. Is that what we have? Yeah. Yes. Okay, good. It was really, really funny. I loved it. We have a call coming in. Let's see if I can plug it in time to take this one.
Call from Camila.
Camila, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Fabulous. Did you wake up in time to catch the end of that testimony?
Yes.
Good, yeah.
So I was chatting with Legally Blonde, and she asked me to call.
All right.
So there are two sentences on the messages that it's word by word. It's Portuguese syntax, and I can translate. So the first sentence is, how has been your experience? That's word by word. Yeah, can I say in Portuguese?
Sure.
Como tem sido sua experiência? It's word by word. So it's Portuguese syntax.
Direct, exact translation.
Exactly. Yeah. So if I had to translate word by word, it would be, how has been your experience?
Right.
Como tem sido sua experiência? I don't know how to pronounce this word in English. Gerund, it's Gerund. I can type in chat. It's a grammar. I type it in chat. And I don't know how to pronounce that word. It's the words that in grammar it ends with ings, like I have been lurking, I have been doing this. So we have many grammar rules for this in Portuguese, and it's really hard to use it correctly. And you can use in the past. In the past, it's really hard to use it in the right way. The second sentence is, I don't plan to have many people. So it's word by word again. Eu não planejo ter muitas pessoas. It's word by word. It's Portuguese.
That is interesting. So those would be two very strong indicators, at least to you, that the au pair was the one at the keyboard typing that, right?
Oh, yes, especially because she was here recently, maybe 1 year, and she was studying English, so it was something that she was learning. And I have been here for 24 years. I still mix it up. And sometimes I miss a word and I don't remember how to say, and I have to describe the word to get that. And then someone has to say that word. And I'm like, okay, I have been here 24 years. And I was telling Legally Blonde, I don't know how to calculate in English. I do not know how to pray in English. I do those things in Portuguese.
Right. Some of those things are just, your brain thinks that way. It's wired that way.
Yeah.
The language. Fascinating stuff. I did also see the Joe caught on a couple times, I think. There was a phone call, right? Didn't he mention something about the accent on the phone call? Where did I hear that?
Ah, yes. He said, "Oh, I didn't expect you to have an accent."
That seems like a smoking gun.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Camila, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Yeah. Thank you for taking my call again.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Let me just get permission here to see if I can share this. Okay, Rob gave me permission. Rob was in the courtroom. He was not on camera, but he was in the courtroom for a while. During the painful part, we would have loved to see him on camera to see his reaction during this, but I imagine you'll get to see that on Friday. I was able to pop in for about 45 minutes. It says Judge A is funny. When defense counsel is trying to go somewhere with his question, almost like she sees where he's going and then gets confused when he doesn't get there and when he misses the point. But his analysis on the jury, he thinks is a good jury, runs the gamut, middle-aged, good allocation male to female, one, maybe two retirees, all relatively attentive during that, with a few heavy note takers, particularly timeline. That's going to be key. So he was there. I don't know if he was there for cross or not. He's working, so he was going to try to pop in and catch some of that. I'm glad he got to see part of it. He got in for the worst. Like, if there was the worst part of the trial to see would be the direct examination of this witness. Possibly the only one worse would be last week when we were trying to get evidence in that was not admitted because we didn't have the full document yet. The base document, everything was drawn from. And so we were talking about stuff, not showing the jury, and then saying, we'll get back to that later next week. And we'll talk about this, not show the jury, and get back to it next week. That would have been the only one that was worse than today. But good stuff. Did you ask him how many were asleep? No, he says it's a good jury, and they're attentive, keeping notes. So that's really good. The big question that's just left sitting in our minds right now is, where do we go from here? Does defense say, let's recall a witness so we can bring in the foundation for the Lily recording of the dog, try to get that comparison, to get the moaning sound, at least have in the minds of the jurors the possibility that wasn't a victim dying in the background, that was a dog. Do they go that route and try to get there? Because that's going to be a fight. That's going to be a slog against the state that is objecting to everything. Or do we just move straight on and say, next witness is Brendan? Wait, RA has a burner phone? I do. I've had a burner phone for years. Since before I started my YouTube channel. Yeah, you can ask questions about that, but I won't answer them. I've found it useful to have a phone number that I can throw away if at any time I deem it necessary. It's been the most consistent burner phone. It's never been burned. Honestly, I've never had to delete it. Emily Jane says, I don't think he'll testify. I don't know. I don't think they got what they needed out of their expert witness. Either of them. One of them sort of has got a pin in it. The Zoom guy. What exactly is a burner phone? Typically, it's referred to a cheap phone that's disposable. Oftentimes it's usually paid for with cash and not tied to the individual by name and social security number and credit card and everything else. So it's sort of like a throwaway phone you can use for communication when needed and then dispose of and nothing's lost. And that's my burner phone number. There you go. Thank you, Red Pen. Dwayne is still looking for it. Yes. I'm behind, but excited to hear Camilla. You can say it, crime phone. It has a lot of negative associations because burner phones are often used in crime. I just like it for the anonymity. I don't think he has any other choice but to testify, says Irene. Let's see. Unruly Julia, I watched the police body cam footage and didn't see or hear a dog at all. I wonder, Unruly Julia, I wonder where they're getting the baseline, right? We're going to hear, if this evidence comes in at all from the audio specialist, we're going to hear a known recording of Lily. Okay, it's got to come from one of the phones, right? It's got to be some recording off of a phone where we can hear the dog whining or barking or yelping or something like that. That we have something to compare it to that sounds similar. I'd like to use a burner number from Alaska. That way all the spam spoof from Alaska phone number, and I literally don't know a single person that lives up there. I've got some friends up there, actually. Got another friend moving up there in a couple of weeks. Let's see. He answers it. I texted him this weekend. I do. I answer the burner phone. I don't have a receptionist. I never have. I'm known to answer it at 2 o'clock in the morning. Please don't call then, unless it's important. But I'm known to answer it at 2 o'clock in the morning. Old habits die hard. I used to work for the Department of Defense in the IT department. And my particular world involved servers that needed to be up, right? Like, I don't mean to paint it more crucial than it was, but lives could depend on it. There's important things that went on some of these servers, and so if things went wrong, it was a big deal, and so 24/7 I had to answer my phone. And the team I was on originally started with 4 people, and then it went down to 3, and then 2, and then 1, and I was that one person at the end. And there's a lot of calls. Anyway, so I'm used to just answering the phone call when it rings. Mrs. RA is complete opposite. Unless she is wanting to speak to you and knows who it is you're calling and why you're calling, she probably won't answer it. She's like, nope, I'm not convenient right now. I'm reading a book. Bolshevik, I was in the IT department for a 3-letter agency. Nice. It's a fun world, seen behind that curtain. The clearance stuff is a lot of fun. Let's see. What kind of dog is Lily? I don't know what kind. Somebody said like a husky? Because huskies are, I would say huskies are known to mimic voices, right? They'll make, well, the owners of huskies will tell you they're talking, right? They'll make sounds that you can almost associate to vocal noises. Doesn't sound like talking to me, but I haven't been surrounded by huskies for a while. Huskies are loud and are whiny dogs. I only answer my phone for like 3 people, and you're not one of them, right? Blue stars. Let's see. There was an intruder in their house. A dog's bark would sound more like a warning bark. I've seen huskies talk. There's lots of TikTok videos of huskies that can talk, or that do talk. Had the NSA knock on my door before. I've never had a 3-letter agency come looking for me. I've had a 3-letter agency talk to all my friends and family when, like, they go around and do background investigations. But the closest I've had is 4 letters. I had the BATF come to my work to talk to me one time. Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. I'm not sure why they group all those together in Utah, but they do. Apparently, explosives are serious things, and they wanted some questions answered. Another story for another day. I answer my phone for a daughter only. Most of the huskies I've had talk only wanted more snacks after the bar. Had a task force bust down my door. Whoa. See, being live on the air like I am, there is a risk with everyone who's live on the air that somebody out there does something nefarious and tries to get, the police involved live on the air. So, haha, look what we can do. So I've literally had to go to my police department and talk to them and explain who I am, what I do, and where I am, and everything, and what's going on, so that they know. There's a note on my file that they can reach me at any time. I also work for the city quite regularly, helping them out with stuff, so they all know me. Like, I know my police department, so that sort of thing doesn't happen. But all right, we're back.
All right. If Mr. Banfield, you could just stand for a moment. All right. I'm just going to ask you a few questions, okay, sir?
Here goes.
All right.
Here goes.
There we go.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Banfield, do you understand you have a constitutional right not to testify?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Could you speak up just a little bit for me? I'm sorry. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
With this right, the jury cannot take it into consideration or hold it against you if you choose not to testify. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And I also would instruct them on this right. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. By testifying, you understand you waive this constitutional right.
Yes.
By testifying, do you understand that this waiver is unconditional? In other words, even if your attorney only asks you questions about certain topics, the Commonwealth will have the ability to ask you about other topics as well, even if they were not brought up on direct. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. Have you discussed with your lawyer about testifying or not testifying?
Yes.
And after discussing it with him and considering what I just told you, is it your decision today to testify?
Yes.
And are you entering this decision to testify freely and voluntarily today?
Yes.
All right. Sir, I do find your decision to testify has been made knowingly, intelligently, and with a knowledge of the consequence of the waiver, and I'll accept your waiver this time. You can have a seat, sir. All right. Are we ready for the jury?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, just to let counsel know, the jury can come on Friday, 10 o'clock to 4:30 p.m., okay? Somebody has an appointment at 4:30 and somebody's has an appointment at 9:30 or going to be here at 9:30, but they can do 10 to 4:30 on Friday, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, perfect.
There you go. We're working Fridays, and we have the defendant taking the stand as the jury comes in. The spice starts now. Well, it started earlier, but it's going to... How do you think this is going to go? I don't think it's going to be a narrative. Just tell your story. I think he's going to be walked through it. There he is. That's why he's looked a little different today. Probably nerves, getting up in front of the jury. He just saw what the state was capable of doing with their expert witness, and he volunteered and said, "I'll go next." Might not be the smartest decision. I texted Rob. He's like, well, I left too soon. He might go back. We'll see.
All right, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Your next witness?
Your Honor, I call Brendan Banfield.
All right, could you just move the microphone up for you? There you go.
Your Honor, I call Brendan Banfield.
All right.
All right, here we go.
Do you swear or affirm to testify truthfully in this case under penalty of law?
I do.
Thank you.
Sir, can you state your name and spell your name for the court reporter?
Brendan Banfield, BrendanBanfield.
And Brendan, how old are you?
40.
And you were married to Christine Banfield, correct?
Yes.
And how long were you and Christine together?
We were together since we were 18.
And how did you meet?
We met freshman year at college at Quinnipiac University.
Now,
He's 40.
Where are you originally from?
I am from Long Island, New York.
And is that where you grew up?
Yes, I lived there the majority of my life.
Now, what prompted you to come down to Virginia?
I received a promotion from my job with the Internal Revenue Service. I previously was a tax compliance officer, and I received a promotion to special agent with IRS criminal investigation.
Okay. We'll get back to that later. Let's talk about your family. Before Christine's death, describe for the ladies and gentlemen of the jury what your family was.
My family was me, Christine, and my daughter Valerie.
And what kind of things would you do? Well, prior to you having Valerie, what kind of things would you and Christine enjoy together?
Christine and I had a very active social life. We spent a lot of time with our friends. This included playing board games and cards, as well as going on vacations together, and going on vacations with other couples that we were friends with. We did a lot of hiking, going to different forests and different mountains kind of around the country. We also spent some time, we played kickball together. We did quite a bit intramurally.
Okay. And
kickball.
Valerie came along, were you in New York or were you in Virginia?
We were still in New York at that point.
Okay. And so how old was she when you left New York?
She was not one yet. She was 10, 11 months.
Okay. Now, what kind of things, and sorry, once again, before Valerie, what kind of things would, in addition to the hiking, what kind of things would you and Christine enjoy doing together?
I would say that we spent a lot of time together. When we weren't working, we did a lot of work around our house. We had two dogs, two huskies that we took care of.
They were huskies.
Often taking them on our walks and hikes.
And so, in addition to those things, you also both worked?
Yes.
And what did Christine do for work?
Christine had several different jobs. Her primary position was as a pediatric intensive care unit nurse. At other points, she did private health care for an individual family. She also did some product training for medical devices, and she also worked as a sexual assault nurse examiner for several years.
Okay. And where was that? Was that in New York?
Those were in New York, and when we came to Virginia, she continued as a pediatric intensive care unit nurse and trainer for Inova here in Virginia.
Okay. Now, in terms of your work, when you were in New York, what did you do?
I mostly worked for the Internal Revenue Service. Before I came to Virginia, I was a tax compliance officer. I also worked at a math tutoring center known as Mathnasium, where I was a center director, and Christine actually worked there with me as well.
Was this a business that the two of you owned?
Yes, this was a business that we owned together and worked at together.
Okay, and how did you divide the duties in this small business?
Generally, we had about 5 to 7 employees in addition to ourselves. I ran most of the day-to-day activity which would be the after-school hours for when kids would come and study math with the tutors. I did math assessments. I spoke to the parents about where their child was and how we could generally get them to where they would be needed to be, where at their current grade level. Christine helped quite a lot with the hiring process. She worked on marketing. She also spent a lot of time tutoring some of the younger students.
And how long did the two of you run that business together?
About 3 years.
Okay. And when you moved from New York to Virginia, what, if anything, did you do with the business?
Prior to moving to Virginia, we sold the business because we weren't going to be able to operate it from Virginia.
Now, you indicated previously that Valerie was born up in New York. How old was she when she came down to Virginia with you?
I believe about 11 months. I don't know the exact date that we moved here, but yes.
Now, in terms of Christine's career and your career moving from New York to Virginia, were you both in line with coming down here for your job?
It was a promotion for myself, but it was also ended up being a promotion for Christine when she applied to Inova, because she was going to be training the newer hires as well after she finished her own orientation period. And so this was going to be a pay raise, and she always liked mentoring new nurses when she was at Stony Brook Hospital. So this allowed her to more formally control some of the training process of the nurses in the pediatric ICU.
And so did she look at this move, even though it was for your job and your training, did she look at this as something that was a positive, or?
I would say that once she started applying to positions here, because she applied to like Children's National Hospital and a few others, and she realized some of the opportunities with her background, that this was going to be positive for her career as well. But I mean, she was also concerned because we weren't going to be next to our family, which was mainly in New York at that point.
Okay.
But there was a lot of benefit, and we viewed that it was beneficial to us and our family and Valerie.
Now, you met when you were 18, so how long were you together, including your non-married life and married life?
About 19 and a half years.
And how would you characterize your relationship with Christine?
For the most part, we were pretty inseparable. We were together the entire time. We didn't break up at any point. We were from college to our first jobs after college, to buying our first house together, to marriage, to getting a dog and a second dog, and then moving down here. We were always together, always planning for the future. This was part of our life.
Okay. Now, let's talk a little bit about Valerie.
Valerie's his daughter.
Were you and Christine actively involved in Valerie's life?
Yes, I would say that we were very active in Valerie's life.
Okay, when you invited Valerie into the family, when she came into the family, how did that work within regard to your family dynamic?
Mr. Carroll, I think you had the wrong name. When you invited Valerie into the family?
Their daughter.
The daughter? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he meant Juliana.
And when Valerie was born, I'm sorry, can you ask the question again?
So I'm sorry, there's a little confusion, I apologize. Valerie, your daughter, I said invited her into your life. When she was born, how did that affect the relationship, and how did you all kind of change to take care of Valerie?
I would say that Valerie brought all of our family closer together, including my mother and our in-laws. It kind of brought everyone near to each other. There was a lot of overlap, a lot of family visits, a lot of care from specifically both grandmothers, helping both me and Christine when Valerie was born, and that it was a very joyous moment for our family. She was really the first grandchild for both sets of grandparents.
And so when she was born, it sounded like a positive thing for everything.
Yes.
And what, if any, involvement did you have, and what involvement did Christine have, knowing that you're both working full time?
So our schedules are a bit strange for childcare purposes. Christine would work 12-and-a-half-hour shifts, which generally meant that she was leaving at 6:30 in the morning and would be coming back at roughly 7:30 at night. When I was in New York, I was working 6 a.m. until 2:30 p.m. And so on days where both of us were working, generally one of the grandmothers was the primary caregiver when Christine's maternity leave and my leave ended after Valerie was born.
Okay, and so it worked out between all of you?
Yes, it seemed to be going pretty well.
Okay, now how old is Valerie now?
Valerie's She'll be 8 in March, so 7 currently.
Okay, and do you, since this situation has started, do you have contact with her?
Yes, I talk to her basically every day by video chat, often also by phone.
Now, when she was younger, what kind of involvement did you have with her education?
I spent a lot of time on her education. I guess I've spent a lot of time teaching math over the years, and even from before she was in preschool, I spent a lot of time basically what I would call numerical fluency, starting with counting and moving up through. I've currently been working with times tables with her, which is above grade level. So I've been doing math work with her basically from 2 until present. But I also monitor quite a bit of what work she does at school. And with this, I spend a lot of time reading with her, and we do, I guess I would say that I call them activity pages, but essentially they're like crossword puzzles and word searches, rhyming words, or consonant combinations, such as like ST or CK, and then I'll give a description of a word, and then the word will match. So if it was like TR, and this is a plant that grows tall, she might write tree, and things like that, so that she would work additionally on whatever letter combinations they're currently working on in school as additional practice. I do a lot of design work for that also.
This is the humanizing side of the testimony.
And you're designing these things for her to be able to continue kind of working with you?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what about things like science and engineering and all that sort of thing? Did you ever get into any of that with?
So
She's 8.
we always did quite a bit of Legos, basically starting at like 2.
Not a sponsor.
But after that, we started doing these projects from Kiwi Company, where you would do things like make a little device that would spin a coin for you, or that would launch a disc and you could aim it at a target. We went past that, and now we were doing these Crunch Lab boxes, where we were working on things like rocket launches and
Crunch Labs, competitor to Kiwi Co.
There was like different circuits where you would have, where it would show you how to design basically a button, and then when pressing the button would allow like animations to move or things like that, and it would show more details of how a lot of electronics would work.
What kind of things would you and Christine do with her?
We spent a lot of time in nature, the 3 of us. Behind our house is Frying Pan Farm. So walking distance, we have walking trails, and we can walk to Frying Pan Farm where Valerie would definitely like to see the animals. We had a membership to the National Aquarium in Baltimore, and that was, we went there frequently. Sorry, was there more to the question?
It was about the 3 of you doing things together.
We also spent we would go on vacations. There was quite a bit of spending time with family in terms of going to the water, whether going to the beaches or even with my in-laws going to on their boat and going fishing.
How did you observe the relationship between Christine and Valerie?
Christine loved Valerie very dearly, and Valerie was very attached to her mother. This is was tragic, their separation, but, when Valerie was always very excited as soon as Christine would get home from work. She would run up to her mother and say, be happy and call her mama. And,
that's a terrible.
They spent quite a bit of time doing art-related projects. Christine would often bring Valerie to dance when she was not working.
Now, did you love your wife?
Very much.
Did you want to continue your marriage with your wife?
Yes.
Do you love your daughter, Valerie?
More than anything.
Your Honor, I'm going to try to show some pictures.
Okay.
If I can.
All right.
If the state will allow it. She's like, oh, right here we go. Hold tight for just 1 second. Let's see.
Judge, I might need some assistance from
my expert. He's getting paid $500 an hour to teach me how to use my laptop. I can't seem how to make my screen advance. Can somebody help me with that? Okay, when Brendan was asked the question about Valerie and her relationship with her mom, and he buffered with how to talk about that separation. Oh my goodness. If he doesn't know, if he can't clearly talk about his wife's death and his version of that.
Sir, can you see the picture that's on the screen?
Yes.
Your Honor, we'd identify that as defense exhibit number 220. Do you recall that situation?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and Your Honor, I move that in as defense exhibit 220.
Any objection?
If we could lay some foundation.
All right, just a foundation.
What is it we're looking at?
Do you recall this event?
Yes,
When was that?
This was a trip that we took that was in Pennsylvania. We had gone to the Poconos, and we spent some days there in a cabin. This was during that trip. We went to a mud run called Warrior Dash.
And do you remember when that occurred?
I mean, not the exact date, but I would say that it was. So it's. I would say it was in 2018.
Okay, so would that have been?
Sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, probably. Sorry. I think it's closer to like 2015.
Okay. So that would have been when you were living in New York?
Yes.
And that would have been prior to Valerie?
Yes.
And is this Christine?
See if we can get this sorted out. Hold on just 1 second.
Yes.
And Your Honor, move that in.
We have some buffering issues.
Given that.
Do you have an objection or not?
No, it's fine.
No objection, 220.
And so was this a plan that you made to go to the mud run, or is this something that you just,
No,
how did it come about?
We planned a whole trip to the Poconos. We went to a concert while we were there. We spent time in a cabin. We did quite a bit of hiking. It was fun. It was a fun trip.
Okay. Your Honor, I'm going to move to the next slide.
We're not going to get to substantive anything today.
That'll be identified as Exhibit 221. Do you recognize that, sir?
I do.
Was this the same race?
It is not.
Where is this located?
This one took place on Long Island, close to our house in, I believe, Calverton.
Okay. Your Honor, I move that in as Defense Exhibit 221.
Any objection?
No.
221.
Are we going to see it?
Sorry, Your Honor, to the next slide. Exhibit 365. Is that a picture? What is that a picture of?
This is a picture of me and Christine on a fishing boat that leaves out of Port Jefferson.
And do you know when that was?
Probably 5 or 6 years ago.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, I think I said, I think it's 365. Did I say that?
Yeah, you said
Okay,
365.
thank you. Your Honor, I move that in as Exhibit 365.
Any objection?
No.
365.
It's a strategy by the state to just let him say everything he
And
wants
sir,
to hear and
do
then
you see
cross
this
him on
video
it.
or this photograph?
Yes, I do.
And who's depicted in this photograph?
This is me and Valerie, and Christine's face seems to be cut off, but I believe that's her as
Is that
well.
her in there? Okay. And do you know when that was taken?
This appears to be when Valerie was 4, probably the fall before Christine died.
Your Honor, I move this in as Defense
Objection.
Exhibit
He didn't
366.
say what it is.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
366.
Sir, do you see this one?
Yes, sir.
And who is that with you?
Christine.
And is that, well, tell me what it is.
I believe that this is at a rehearsal dinner for one of our friends' weddings, the day before their wedding.
And where did that take place? New York or Virginia?
New York.
Let me give you multiple
Your Honor, I move
guesses.
that in as
Let me give you multiple
Defense
choices
Exhibit
if you can remember.
367.
Any objection?
No, Judge.
367.
Sir, do you see that?
Yes.
And what if, who are the people involved in that?
This is me, Christine, and Valerie.
And do you remember that?
This is on a flight from here in Virginia to Florida before we were going on a cruise. This would have been in 2022.
Your Honor, I move that in as Exhibit 368.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
368.
Sir, do you recognize this picture?
These are all just the
Yes,
humanizing
this
family
is
photo album I'm
me, Christine, and Valerie
sharing.
on the cruise after that flight.
Your Honor, I move that in as 369.
All right. Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
369.
And sir, do you remember this?
Yes, this is on the same cruise at a formal dinner that we went to there. And this is Valerie is excited for, I believe, dessert to be coming, and Christine seems very happy about it.
Your Honor, I move that in as Defense Exhibit 370.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
370.
Sir, do you see the exhibit on the screen?
Yes, I do.
And what is that?
We took 2 cruises in 2022. This would be the one that's in November. This was the first time Valerie went ice skating. I took her ice skating on the cruise ship.
And was that Christine taking the picture, do you know?
I think I took the picture myself.
Okay, was Christine on that cruise?
Christine was on that cruise, but she did not go ice skating.
Okay. Your Honor, I move that in as Defense Exhibit 371.
Any objection?
No, thank you.
371.
And sir, do you see this?
Yes.
And what is this a picture of?
This is on that same cruise. We were with our friends. Another couple. They have a son that's the same age as Valerie. They would be the ones that took this photo.
Your Honor, I move that in as Exhibit 372.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
372.
Do you remember this picture, sir?
Yes.
Where was that?
This is in New York, when Valerie was still less than 1.
And did Christine take this picture?
Yes.
Your Honor, move that in as Exhibit 373.
Any objection?
No objection.
373.
It's all coming in.
I think you skipped like 20.
Yeah, I must have.
Okay, now. We're not going through. I know.
Sir, do you recognize this?
Yes, I do.
And who are the people in that photo?
This is my grandmother. Valerie calls her Gigi. And this is Valerie when she was still 0. This is at my mom's house in New York.
No, your kids are 0. It's like
Exhibit
1 day
374.
old,
Any objection?
3 months old.
Judge, at this point, I am going to
You wanna
object to
approach-
relevance.
You want to approach?
Let's see. See if I can get the audio working properly on this one as well. This is when she was 0. Who says their kids are 0? Not me. Not me. I don't know how old they are, but I don't say they're 0. I fumble around for a while and be like, and then I look like deer in the headlights over towards my wife, like, help me out here, tell me how old my kids are. And then I say that age, I don't say they're 0. And he's a numbers guy, right? He's bad at math. He knows that 0 is more than that. You know, any kid who's alive is older than 0. You count the months, right? Man, what about the prosecutor when you invited Valerie into the relationship? And the judge is like, I think you mean the au pair. Whoa! No, he meant Valerie. He just talked in a manner that confused everybody.
Sir, can you see the photo on the screen? Exhibit 375?
Yes, I can.
Okay, I'm trying to fix the audio here.
And what is that?
Christine took a picture of me when Valerie was only a couple months old. Valerie snuggled up with me in bed.
You're going to move that in as Exhibit 375?
Any objection?
Judge, objection, relevance, and cumulative.
I'm going to sustain the objection.
Cumulative means too much of the same. We're not putting the whole family photo album. You can have a couple to let us know the situation, but not everything.
Sir, can you see this?
Yes.
Okay, what's the significance of this photo in terms of your family?
This is taken in Georgia, in Brunswick, Georgia. This is the day of my graduation from the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center Academy. And Christine and Valerie had visited me for the graduation ceremony.
You're going to move this in as
Fletka?
Defense Exhibit 377?
I'm sorry,
Fletka.
Judge, same objection, relevance, and cumulative.
Federal
Any
Law
objection?
Enforcement Training
Relevant and
Academy.
cumulative.
Training Center Academy. FLETCA.
Sir, let's move on. Did you have a relationship with Juliana Perez Magahais?
Yes.
There it is.
And tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury, when did that start?
I guess the relationship started as professional in October of 2021 when she came to be a au pair or a nanny for our family.
Okay, and she came through an agency?
Yes, from Cultural Care is the agency.
What were the parameters of the cultural care exchange that she came through? Do you know?
She would come and provide childcare for the family. It would include room and board, that she would be able to take educational opportunities, such as at a local community college. She can work, I believe, up to 45 hours a week, and she would generally provide a loving environment and activities for Valerie.
Okay, and had you had a previous au pair before her?
Yes, we had an au pair prior to her. Her name was Amanda. She was with us for 2.5 years.
And so Juliana was your second au pair?
Correct.
And so explain kind of from when she got there in October 21, what were her duties and how did you utilize her time when you and Christine were working?
So once we moved to Virginia, our work schedules were, I guess, more erratic because my work schedule was not set any longer as well. So Christine would still be working generally the 12.5-hour days, but I may have to work at hours that could start at 5 in the morning and sometimes could be going late into the evening. So while generally I would know what I had to do for the day and maybe how long it would take, it wasn't convenient for conventional childcare in terms of having Valerie go to, say, a daycare, because generally they're not open at 6:30 in the morning until nighttime. So generally, the au pair that we had would work similar hours to that Christine had. And when I got home from work, the au pair would be no longer working for the day, or if it was on the weekend that Christine had to work, the au pair generally would be off. So the au pair kind of worked basically 3 12-hour shifts coinciding with Christine's job most of the time. But sometimes if Christine didn't have that many hours during the regular work week, Christine may choose to have the au pair work other hours so that Christine could get things done around the house or other activities that she had to do.
So in terms of your contact with Juliana, describe for the ladies and gentlemen of the jury, what kind of contact would you have on a daily basis prior to having a relationship?
Prior to having a relationship, it was mostly logistical. I may inform her when I was going to get home from work, if I had any delays, making sure that Valerie was getting to, say, dance lessons if Christine and I were not available then. Juliana would generally bring Valerie to preschool on the days that she was working. And we might just talk about activities for her to do with Valerie on days that they were working.
Okay. And when was it that this turned from a working relationship to something else?
In August of 2022.
Okay. Describe for the ladies and gentlemen of the jury how that happened.
So in August, Juliana and I were home alone. I had to work on both Saturday and Sunday. So I believe the original day was a Friday. Christine and Valerie were in New York, and Juliana started texting me while I was preparing food in the kitchen. It was an unusual line of text as she was complaining about.
Let me, if I may just
Sure.
interrupt. Where was she and where were you in the house?
I was in the kitchen. I believe she was upstairs in her room.
Okay, sorry. Please go. Continue.
It was an unusual text conversation in terms of that Juliana was complaining about her dating activity and the people that she was seeing at the time.
It just started like that. Hey, let me tell you about my nightlife.
I don't particularly like texting, and I think I basically said that if she wanted to talk, that she could come to the kitchen.
Okay, and what, if anything, happened?
At that point, Juliana showed me quite a few screenshots of her dating app. I believe it was Hinge, and the people that were in the Hinge app all had similar names to me. Their names were Brendan and Brandon and Brennan. And these were people that she had matched with on the app.
We matched and I swiped right, and it was all history from there on.
And so, and how did it progress from there?
It's a name thing. She has a thing with names.
She was making quite a few jokes about it. At some point, I finished cooking and was eating. I don't believe that Juliana actually ate dinner at the same time. We talked about other unrelated things. Talked about there was some family history of alcoholism and how her family in Brazil was dealing with that. And we'd spent maybe an hour and a half or 2 hours talking about some random things, but also about her dating history. During this time, when she was talking about different people, she was described people that she was interested in, people that were taller, people that were older, and it appeared to me that she was, along with the photos, the screenshots that she had shown me of people that she had matched with, that she was basically describing me. Also, I guess when we were having this conversation, we were sitting at the island in the kitchen, and she scooted her seat closer to mine a couple times.
And so what did you do at that point?
Patty, thank you very much, man.
I did not stop her advances.
I didn't fight her off any longer. It was all I could do.
At some point, I told her that I was going to go upstairs, indicating that I was going to go to bed. And she said that she was tired and that she was going to do the same. A little bit of information about the upstairs of my house. Once you go upstairs, the master bedroom is to the left, and all the other bedrooms are to the right. So her bedroom, a guest bedroom, and Valerie's bedroom are to the right. When I went upstairs, I went to the left, and she also took a step towards the left with me. And we had a brief conversation there. And then she came with me into my bedroom.
Did you ever talk to her either that night or later about a continuing relationship?
We did not talk that night about continuing a relationship. We did talk about, I would say, in the next few days, I guess we spoke a little bit about the relationship. She had indicated that she was concerned that I was going to tell Christine and that she was going to be essentially fired and sent back and lose her job, which I indicated that I wasn't going to tell her.
Okay. Did you tell her anything about what had just happened and what that was?
Yes, I mean, that would be that we were having an affair. I had also indicated to her that I had previous affairs, and that really this was
I'm good at this.
Just an affair, and not that there would be no other relationship, that there's, and that basically that this is something that I have had affairs previously, and that there's nothing that changes in mine and Christine's relationship.
Now, was Christine aware of your affair?
I don't believe she was aware of the affair between me and Juliana.
Was she aware of your previous affairs?
She was aware of at least 2 previous affairs.
Okay, and likewise, were you aware of her affairs?
Yes, I was also aware that she had affairs.
Okay, and how did the two of you manage in your relationship moving forward with those facts?
So, I guess in about 2013, it was found that we had quite a few discussions. At that point, Christine was working at the private healthcare, and she would travel for work for an entire week at a time, basically. And during this time, she would not be available to come home. Her shift was literally the entire week. So we were separated a lot. My job, I wasn't in my previous position, but my job also required some travel. I spent about 6 months in Jacksonville. I spent another month in Kansas City, and I was living in New York, but I also spent some time here in the DC area. So we were both traveling quite a lot for work. And I guess that was poor for our relationship at that point. We had gone to therapy. We went to couples therapy for several months. We had decided that we were going to continue our marriage.
So now back to 2022. You and Juliana were having an affair outside of the knowledge of Christine?
Yes.
And how did that look on a daily basis?
It's not the same. It's not the same all the time, but I guess it depended, a lot on Christine's work schedule. So Juliana may spend time with me and Valerie during the day instead of when I would get home from work. Juliana used to just kind of leave. She might go to her room or she might go out prior to our relationship. And afterwards, it was more like she chose to do whatever I was going to do with Valerie, whether it was going to be stay home or, like I was Valerie's soccer coach. So when I would go to soccer practice, sometimes Juliana would go, even though I wasn't interacting with her at all. Basically, she was choosing to.
She can't wait. She cannot
to
wait.
Be with me whenever she could choose to be with me.
So let's move toward the October timeframe of 2022. Did you ever create any sort of a plan with Juliana?
No, there was no plan. At this point, our relationship is maybe 6 to 8 weeks old. I think that it's an absurd line of questioning for something that is not serious, that a plan was made to get rid of my wife. That is absolutely crazy.
So with no plan, let's talk about Silver Eagle Armory.
Sure.
Okay. So how did that happen where Juliana went to you or went with you to the Silver Eagle Armory?
So
that's the shooting range.
It was basically one of those things where it was something that I was going to be doing outside the house. Generally, I would go to a shooting range every month, every other month, to practice before my qualifications for my job.
And how many times did you have to qualify for your job?
You have to qualify twice a year, but there's practice there's practice on the opposite quarters. So there would be, I guess, 2 trainings and 2 qualifications. And generally I would go practice prior to having one of those training sessions or qualifications at my job.
And how is it that Juliana ended up coming?
I was going to be going there anyways. She thought it would be fun to attend, as well as it was going to be out of the house. It was something that there wasn't going to be a risk of being found out by Christine.
Okay, so the relationship continued into that October or December timeframe?
Yes.
Okay, so when you're in terms of training for people that go to Silver Eagle, is there any sort of training class or anything like that?
The first time you go there, they do a safety class, making sure that you understand the fundamentals of using a firearm, that you treat all firearms if they're loaded. You never point a firearm at anything that you're not willing to shoot. Things like that, making sure that you understand the safety mechanisms of a firearm, and making sure that you understand range etiquette, that the gun should always be pointed down range, should never be pointed at another person, things like that.
And is this something that you knew through your training?
Yes, this is something that is also discussed in my trainings.
And so would this training that you're talking about at Silver Eagle be for someone who's never shot a gun before?
Yes, it would be for a kind of a beginner lesson.
Okay. And she went with you twice, correct?
Yes, she did.
Was there, in having her come to the range, was there any plan that she was going to back you up on some plan?
I mean, there was no plan at this point when we had gone to the range. There was no
plan at this point.
There was none of the suspect email account. There was no FetLife account. There was no Telegram messages. None of that existed at the point that we went to the range.
What is it? He says at the point. Now, that means there was a plan at some point.
FetLife or Gmail or Telegram ever exist for you?
I did not know about them I did not know about them until after Christine died. I didn't get to see them until after Juliana's arrest.
And you're talking about the criminal reports, the police reports, things like that?
Yes.
The things that the Commonwealth gives?
Yes.
Okay. So let's move toward.
He's blaming the au
Let me
pair.
ask you this. There's some dates that came up recently. Some dates that came up recently relating to the FetLife account and lack of activity. Do you remember what occurred, what was going on January 13th and 14th of 2023?
Not specifically, I don't.
Okay. Do you remember?
You're supposed to remember that.
A weekend in Winchester?
Yes, I do remember a weekend in
Who was
Winchester.
with you in Winchester?
I went to Winchester for work. I was going to be there for 2 days. I was going to be there for 2 days. So I had a hotel, and Juliana drove there herself, not with me, later the evening of the first day, if I remember correctly.
And she stayed there with you?
Yes.
Okay. Now, do you remember what was going on at home? Who with Christine and Valerie?
I believe my mother-in-law, Linda, was with Christine and Valerie.
Okay. That was on the 31st of January and February 1st?
I don't remember the exact date of Winchester, but...
Okay. Would that be common for your mother-in-law or even your mother to come down to help out with the kids?
Well, there's only Valerie, but yes, it is extremely common that the grandmothers came to visit us. Oftentimes, each of them may come almost as every 4 to 6 weeks, and they may spend between 5 and 10 days. As I had said before, Valerie was the only grandchild of both sides of the grandparents, and so there was quite a lot of support from the grandparents with Valerie.
Okay. Now, January 13th and January 14th, was that one of those days when someone was visiting? Or that weekend?
They visited frequently, but I don't remember specifically that they visited that weekend.
Okay. Now, let's talk about February 24th. Can you describe for the ladies and gentlemen of the jury, what were you doing that morning? What was your plan for the day with work or with
Is this his birthday?
family or?
Sure. February 23rd is my birthday, and the evening I was planning to drive to New York with Valerie. My friends in New York had planned a birthday party for me in New York.
And I'm sorry, the 23rd was your birthday. Are you talking about the next day?
The previous day.
Previous day of 23rd?
So I believe February 23rd was a Thursday, which was
right.
My 38th birthday, and the 24th was today that...
Okay. And my question was, when you were talking about going up, your friends were having a party, you're talking about the 24th?
Well, yes, because that was Friday, and I had to work on that Friday still, so I was going to go to New York.
They're not on the same page.
The evening.
Okay. So the 24th, your day was planned, and what did you fill your day with in terms of your plan?
So, but in terms of the day was an important day for me at work as well. There was a important meeting for one of my cases. There was going to be a undercover operation for one of my cases. And we were meeting with the undercover officer, a senior special agent, and my manager. That meeting was scheduled for 9:30 that day. This was a particularly important meeting for me, as had been indicated that success in this case may lead to me getting a promotion to a senior special agent.
Okay, so had you ever heard that kind of talk before?
Yes, other people that were hired at a similar time as me, you have to hit certain milestones before you could progress to being a senior agent.
So Friday, February 24th, 2023 was potentially a milestone for you?
Yes.
In terms of your career?
It was supposed to be the meeting that would set up for the undercover operation, which was going to take place most likely on Tuesday. So we were going to go over all the documentation and the plan for the operation on Tuesday, the following week.
And you thought you'd go into that meeting with the breakfast from
Now,
McDonald's?
so what did that mean
That was
in
your
terms
choice.
of
Have that in your
normal
stomach?
waking up or any other usual habits?
I woke up a little bit earlier that day. I was planning to get to my office, which is in Vienna, a little bit earlier so that I could set up the conference room, have my documents ready, have my presentation ready, have the document for the operation available so that it could be signed off by management.
Okay, and so what time did you wake up that morning?
I believe I woke up 6:30.
Yippee Mimi, thank you. Welcome to the gallery.
Do you remember whether or not Christine was up?
Christine I had seen seemed to be awake and on her cell phone when I was getting ready and taking a shower to get ready for work.
Okay. Now, did you have any sort of interaction with her at that time?
Yes, she was aware that I had this meeting that day. She wished me luck. She said that she would talk to me before I headed to New York with Valerie. Told me she loved me and have a good day.
Okay, so you carried on with your morning. What did that entail?
I went downstairs and got my work laptop out of the basement. My work from home space at that time was in the basement. I have a desk down there. It's because it's quiet. So I got my work stuff ready. I made sure that I had all of my equipment. Getting ready on a typical day would mean that I need to have my credentials, which includes my badge, my firearm, my holster, my handcuffs, two magazines, a belt clip badge, my work cell phone, and then generally I would also have my personal cell phone, my wallet, and my keys, which includes to my government vehicle.
And so you had a holster that would hold the gun?
Yes.
And to what side was that holster?
It's on the right because I'm right-handed.
Okay, and so presumably you're putting it in the right and the gun comes out of it on the right side?
Correct.
Okay. Now, who else was up when you, and what else was going on in the house that you were involved with?
I know Juliana was downstairs when I came upstairs from getting my work stuff out, my work laptop out of the basement. I don't remember exactly what she was doing. I think she might have been getting stuff ready in the kitchen.
Let me just stop you right there. Prior to that time, which would be February 24th, had you ever taken Christine's laptop or taken her phone out of a bag near the door?
No, I don't take her laptop. I have no reason to use her laptop. I don't have access to her laptop. It's not a password that I know. I have my own work laptop. I have my own home desktop. I have my own, actually I have two cell phones. I have a personal cell phone and a work cell phone. Our devices were completely separate.
And so in terms of, that's fine. In terms of the idea of the laptop, where it would be on a regular basis, do you have a recollection of where she would put her laptop?
Christine kept her laptop actually in several places. Sometimes it is by the front door when she gets home. She would have a backpack, and she would bring the backpack and drop it off, and generally go visit Valerie and our dog and me. But usually she would go upstairs and she would bring her backpack with her, and her desk is in the sitting area of our master bedroom. So if you were to go into the master bedroom, you can kind of either go left or right, and to the left is the sitting area, which is where Christine does her work and has her desk and her file and has her files for her job. And if you went to the right, it would be where the master bedroom is, and for a little bit further, the master bathroom. But she didn't also only keep her laptop at her desk. I would say the majority of her use would be sitting in bed with her back against the headboard while she had TV on or something like that. And when she would be done, she might put the laptop in between her nightstand and the bed, or on the nightstand itself, or back on her desk, generally at night.
There's a lot of details about where that laptop was.
And what about her phone? Where would there be a particular place where she might leave her phone?
I mean, her phone was basically always connected to her.
It was an extension of her hand. Her
phone wasn't really away from her basically ever. I mean, she would keep it in her pocket.
So following up on the discussion we had about a plan, was there ever any time, and I think you indicated that you never went and grabbed her laptop or whatever, was there ever any time you observed Juliana going to grab her laptop or her phone?
I never observed Juliana grab her laptop or her phone. Juliana also has her own laptop and phone.
Now, what, if anything, was Juliana and what were Juliana and Valerie supposed to be doing on February 24th?
Christine had scheduled for Valerie and Juliana to go to the zoo, at the main zoo in Washington, D.C.
Okay. Did you have any role in that?
I didn't have any role in planning the trip. I was aware of the trip.
And how did you become aware of the trip?
Christine had told me that that was something they were going to do.
Okay, so you never kind of forced that on her for the 24th?
No, it was also written on our calendar that was shown earlier. Christine had written it on the calendar. She had also written it on Juliana's work schedule in her au pair book.
Now, what, if anything, did you know about the plan for that day for them? I
knew that they were planning to go in the morning. I don't don't recall if I knew what time they were supposed to go, but I knew they were going in the morning, and I knew that when I saw Juliana in the morning, that's what she was working on doing, was getting Valerie ready. But Juliana had actually asked me to go get Valerie from upstairs. At some point in the morning, I heard Valerie's feet, meaning that she got out of her bed and pounded down the hallway and ran into my room. Okay. And so Juliana had asked me to get Valerie because Valerie wasn't in her room to start getting her ready. So I got Valerie out of my bed, which happened after I had finished getting my equipment ready.
And did you see Christine there?
Yes, when I had gone back upstairs, Christine was there, and she was sitting up. She was sitting up in bed. She had the blanket over her lap. She had both her laptop and her cell phone.
Okay, and what, if anything, did, so when you took Valerie, where did you take her in order to
Valerie was sleepy, so when I picked her up, she was still kind of limp, and I carried her downstairs to Juliana, and Juliana got her, kind of woke her up gently and changed her out of pajamas and into her clothes for the day.
Okay. Did you take any part in getting ready, get sandwiches ready, get anything like that ready?
No, I was getting ready. I was getting ready to leave myself. I wasn't. Besides collecting Valerie, I wasn't doing anything to help them get ready for the day.
What time did you get out of the house that day? Do you have any recollection?
Roughly 7.
Okay.
A couple minutes after 7.
Would that be a usual time for you to leave?
I would say a more usual time for me to leave is roughly 7:30.
Okay. And in this instance, you were going earlier for what reason?
I was going earlier to just make sure that I had plenty of time in Vienna to get my presentation ready and have the conference room ready for when management was going to inspect my operation and documents for the operation that was supposed to happen on Tuesday.
Okay, and I'm sorry, you said Vienna. Why Vienna?
Vienna is where my office is. We have a couple offices, but that's the one that I'm stationed out of.
That's the home office for you?
Yes, that's my home office. The main office is in Washington, D.C., but this is one of the satellite offices, and that's the one that I work out of.
And what time was that meeting set for?
It was set for 9:30.
Okay, so you left at 7 for what reason?
I left at 7. I was going to go get breakfast, and after breakfast, I was going to get on the 267 toll road and head towards my office.
Okay, and where did you end up going to breakfast that morning?
I went to McDonald's for breakfast.
Okay, is that a common occurrence for you?
I would say that I occasionally go to McDonald's, but I often pick up breakfast on my way to work. Not necessarily McDonald's. Sometimes it's bagel places or.
I sense a TMI moment
sandwich.
coming up.
Okay,
Too much
that.
information.
So it's not uncommon. You don't usually make your breakfast at home?
On the weekend, I usually make a bigger breakfast for everyone. But no, normally I don't make breakfast for myself before work.
So when you went to McDonald's, you saw the video that the Commonwealth showed of you driving up to the drive-through?
Yes.
And it looks as though, well, it appears you go past the drive-through at one point. Is that correct?
I did. I circled the drive-through.
What was the reason for that?
Give it the smell test.
The McDonald's app has a QR code so that you get reward points and you can use the deals that you get.
I wanted the free small fry.
When I initially opened it, it didn't provide me with my code. And that's why I was like blocking the drive-through. And so then I basically just got back in line once the code came up.
Okay, and so.
It was pretty quick.
And you had that app on your phone at that time?
I've had the McDonald's app for several years.
Also
Okay.
not a sponsor.
Now, when you, so I'm sorry, explain to me a little bit about that app. I'm not familiar with it.
McDonald's is like, please
You
don't
can
talk about
order
this.
directly from there, but that's generally not what I do, because then the food gets made before you get there. So normally, I just open up the QR code section, and you can look at the deals, and the deals tell you, you can get a free hash brown with your breakfast.
There it is. Free
And you
hash
can
brown.
load that, or you can get a orange juice or coffee with it, and then you'll get reward points, and you can use the reward points to get free food too. So
Okay.
it's kind of a
It's a free money,
loyalty app that's
infinite money
you would find
glitch.
for many restaurants.
And so, when it didn't work the first time you came back around,
Yeah.
and did it work?
Yes. Then my QR code came up, and I went to order.
Okay, so when we see you in your work vehicle with your sunglasses on, you got your food after that?
Yes.
Okay, and then what did you do?
Then it hit me.
I pulled straight forward. The McDonald's, the shopping center that the McDonald's is in, the McDonald's is kind of a standalone building. But basically you cross over the road. It's a road in the parking lot. You cross over the road. It's only, it's a two-way road. And basically right on the other side of that road is parking spaces. And I was going to sit there to eat my breakfast.
Okay, and what was the parking space, what was the landmark next to your parking space?
It's kind of in front of Chuck E. Cheese, but it's really only,
We have all the brands.
it's really only a few feet from the exit of the drive-thru.
Okay, and so you went there to go eat your sandwich?
Yes, but I started with eating a cookie from Midnight Treats that my friends had brought me for my birthday the day before. If you're familiar with
It was one of
places like
those
Crumble,
cookies.
they're large
Crumble.
cookies.
Crumble.
I ate that first.
Okay, so
We're
you
fishing
ate the
for
cookie,
sponsors
and then
today.
what happened?
I started my car back up and went back to McDonald's to use the restroom.
Okay.
Because the cookie
And is that
didn't hit the spot.
in the video, the second parking, or the first parking space that you went into?
Yes, so you see me park next to the side entrance of McDonald's.
Yes. And then, what if anything, you went to the restroom, so what happened then?
As I was finishing up in the restroom, I
7 minutes later.
received a call from Juliana.
And without saying what she said, what did you do?
I left the restroom and went back to my car quickly.
And was she alarmed at the time?
She sounded that she was very stressed.
Okay, and did you tell her that you were coming back?
I did not tell her that I was coming back on that original phone call. On the original phone call, I told her that I was going to call Christine.
Okay, and did you do that?
I did try to call Christine, but I did not reach her.
Okay, and so in terms of your communications with Christine, was that unusual for her to not pick up the phone?
I wouldn't say that it's unusual for Christine not to pick up the phone, but I would say it's unusual that her phone would go directly to voicemail. Many times if I would call her, she could be busy at work, but her phone would probably be on silent, and therefore it would ring and then go to voicemail. And then she might text me or call me back and let me know when she can call me back. But it was unusual that her phone went directly to voicemail.
Was there a plan at this point?
Now, and so what did that cause you to do?
I believe I tried to call Christine again, of which it went to voicemail straight again. After that, I called Juliana back, and I told Juliana not to go in the house, and that I was going to return to the house.
Okay. And did you do that?
I did.
How long did it take you to think to get back to the house?
10 minutes, 11 minutes, 12 minutes, hard to say.
How long would it normally take?
I guess it depends on, there's a couple traffic lights.
Barely had time to finish my
8 to 12 minutes.
Were you, at that point, were you rushing? Were you
Objection leading.
What if, at that point, how was it that you were proceeding back to the house after the two phone calls that Christine didn't answer and the phone calls you received from Juliana?
I started driving quickly back to the house.
You turn in your IRS
took the
lights.
most direct route back to the house.
Okay.
Who takes
Now,
the scenic route?
if I can just stop you right there.
It's 5 o'clock.
Was there
Would you look at that?
any plan for how something would happen with Juliana on February 24th?
There was no plan with Juliana on February 24th. As far as I knew, Juliana was going to be going to the zoo with Valerie, and Christine had just taken off from work, and I understood that she was going to be home, but I didn't know anything else at that point. I was more concerned with my day of what I had to do at my job.
Prior to leaving the house, did you do anything with anyone's devices other than your own?
I didn't touch anyone else's devices that I remember that morning. I was just getting ready for work.
Okay. Specifically, did you touch Christine's devices, either of those?
No, I did not touch her devices.
Meaning the laptop and the phone?
No, I did not touch her devices.
Mr. Carroll, is this a good time, or do you have more questions?
May I just look one
Sure,
second?
sure.
Can I just peek ahead and see how much more we have? We're going to leave it here with him pulling into the driveway at his house.
Judge, this might be a good break.
Okay, this is a good break. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, since it is 5 o'clock right now,
Wow.
so we'll go ahead and take our evening break. Please do not discuss the case with anybody. Don't do any outside research. I understand that everybody is available for Friday. Again, I'm sorry that I have to thank you for being flexible. I'm sorry that we have to keep changing things. I know somebody can't get here until around 9:30. We'll wait for you whenever you can get here, and we will stop at 4:30 on the dot for somebody who needs to leave as well, okay? So that'll be the Friday schedule, okay? All right, have a good evening.
Jury gets to go home. They've heard half of a story, and the story is there was no plan. We have dropped names from just about everybody you can probably think of. I don't know about you, but I'm probably having McDonald's for dinner tonight. That Big Mac is calling my name. We've talked about it so much I can't stop thinking about it. Maybe a crumble cookie for dessert, and then maybe we'll take the kids out to Chuck E. Cheese for a little bit of games afterwards. So lots of brand name being
Mr.
dropped.
Banfield, since you're in the middle of your testimony, you can't discuss your testimony with anybody at this time. That includes your attorney, okay?
Okay.
All right, you can have a seat back with your attorney. Is there any other matters for this evening?
Judge,
Yes.
if I may,
Yes.
I was remiss in not asking, is Mr. Miller still subject to
Mr. Miller still
recall by?
subject to recall? Detective Miller, is he still subject to recall?
Did I do that?
Yeah.
Yes, you did, but that's okay if you're,
I don't plan on calling him, Judge.
okay, so he can be released then.
Thank
Detective
you.
Miller can
And
be
then, as I
released.
had indicated this morning, I would like to request that Detective Stephen Augustine be permitted to watch the testimony for his expert.
Okay. Any objection to that?
No objection.
Okay, so we'll take care of that tomorrow. And how about Friday morning at 9:30, finish up the jury instructions? We don't have much left.
Judge, we should be able to do it. I anticipate we can do it at the end of tomorrow.
Okay, do you want to do the jury instructions at the end of tomorrow? It's just, I mean, we only have basically the charging instructions left and the waterfalls.
We should be able to do it.
Okay, and there's just one thing with that while I have you here, because I know it's only, you have the 2 charging instructions for aggravated murder, okay?
Yes.
But for the record, I have 4 counts.
You do.
So are we going to select like
We
count
are.
1 and count 3, or count 2 and count 4?
We are.
Or just as long as I can get that on the record, I would appreciate that, just to clean it up.
Once this has concluded, then we
Perfect.
will be able to let Your Honor know how we elect to
Okay.
proceed with the charges.
Excellent.
They're gonna drop
that's
2 of the
great. Okay,
charges.
so we'll see you in the morning then at 10 a.m., okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow. What a day. What a day in court. It started off incredibly slow and ends incredibly spicy with us sitting on the edge of our seats as Brendan Banfield has taken the stand in his own defense. He's telling his story. And so far, what we know is this. Let me turn that off. We know that he says there was no plan. Even up to the point of him leaving McDonald's and heading back home, there was no plan beyond he told the au pair, don't go inside, I'm coming home, wait for me. But he says he didn't know anything else that was going on. He didn't know about FetLife until after the au pair was arrested. Just from what he's told us so far, we have to put it together and say, how can he complete this story? Is he A, going to throw the au pair completely under the bus and say she arranged everything? Or is he B, going to say it was actually Joe? Are we going to blame Joe and say he's actually just a bad serial killer or a bad killer that planned this out and left all the breadcrumbs, didn't bother covering his tracks, and we just stumbled upon it and, trying to defend my wife? And if that's the case, why the heck if that's what happened, why is the au pair trying to throw him under the bus? Because she's mad at him for not sticking by her side? Tomorrow's going to be crazy. I don't know how the story is going to play out as it finishes up. But he's already laid the foundation for a new story that just is probably going to blow our minds when we hear it. And I'm not sure if the jury's going to buy it. It has to fit. It has to fit everything, right? It has to fit. So far, we know that he ate a crumble cookie, and then he had McDonald's, and the app wasn't working. That's why he drove around, and he sat in the bathroom for 7 minutes, and then got the calls to come home and everything. It's fitting so far. The story fits. Is it believable? I don't know. I need to hear the rest of it. But tomorrow we pick up with, and I pulled down my street, and I saw a car in my driveway I'd never seen before. That's where we're starting. So he's blaming Joe and Christine, blaming the 2 victims in this case. It sounds like where he's going here. But is he resisting the bait to not blame the au pair who has blamed
Call
him?
from Angela.
Angela, we have just a little bit longer here. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. You?
Fabulous, absolutely fabulous. What's on your mind?
First, wow, he is so much detailed. I going to tell us how many hash browns did you get?
Oh, he remembers everything. It was overcooked.
Yeah,
it was a little crunchier than he likes it. Those details, we've got almost everything there. How the app was working. It was taking too long to load.
Yeah, if you look at any professional psychologists or people who analyze other interrogations and speech patterns, how people reveal themselves that they lie by saying too many details. and that's true. Have you ever tried to lie? You try by like
never
giving.
I
too
never
much
ever
detail.
in my whole life. No, just kidding. Sometimes I try not to. I try to be a truthful person, but.
I mean, I'm not saying that anyone is lying. I'm just when you think when you caught anyone in a lie, you think like, okay, he or she said a little too many details. That really something is fishy there. He knows so many details.
Tell me this. You heard how the relationship started, right? How it went from professional to unprofessional, where the benefits kicked in. Yeah, I guess for him. Are you buying that story? Like, she just couldn't get enough of me. I had no clue. She was just everybody. She's matched with everyone who has my name online, and she likes people who are my age and look like me and dress like me and talk like me and are older like me.
You're talking about au pair, right?
Yeah, the au pair.
Yeah, I mean. I'm going to be in minority here, and I kind of do feel that, yes.
You think that's how it
happened? I kind of do believe him. I mean, maybe not completely how it happened, but we do know that she has already sold the story.
Yeah.
So she was in for the money. So and I have heard stories, which probably should not be aired for everyone to hear, how people met each other and got married, or got in a relationship at least.
Yeah.
So let's just say I would not be surprised if it started like that. Yeah, because I heard.
He has said that their relationship was such that both he and Christine had affairs previously, plural. But as somebody who's had affairs previously, I don't buy it was complete news to me. I had no idea. I was like a deer in the headlights. I didn't know that the au pair, even looked at me like that. There's something else. That's not how it started. I was making breakfast. Next thing you know, she texts me and says, "Hey, none of my dates are working out for this weekend. Are you available?" That doesn't sound like that's actually how it started. And oh my goodness, did you look at him tell the story? He's talked about meeting his wife and how they've been high school sweethearts, or I think they met at college, how they've just been together, always inseparable, and everything they've done. He tells that flat, just like we did this, we went on trips, we went, we did this together, we did that together, we have photos of this and that and the other. And then he describes how the au pair affair, which I'm going to call it, the au pair affair started. And he's giddy as a schoolboy. He's got a big grin, and then she scooted up to me and everything. Oh, I have to wash my ears, my eyes after that.
Okay, can I retract something?
Sure.
Can I retract something? I mean, I do agree with you with au pair to a degree, but to some other degree, I do think that she kind of fished him out.
Could have happened.
Because he was, could have been like he was, could have not been like he said, but based on how we know that she's already sold her story to multiple people, she may have fished him out.
I'll say this. It appears to me that it was probably consensual. Whether one person started it or the other, I don't know yet. I'm not ready to believe Brendan right now. I need to hear a lot more from him to understand what his baseline is and try to see where he's lying and where it just doesn't match up. But that story didn't ring true to me very much. But no plan. There was no plan.
Speaking of stories not ringing, we are in a very familiar courtroom, which we have already been in before, for a very famous case. Mm-hmm. And I am starting to think that he watched the trial because the way he talks, he looks at the attorney for when he asks him, then turns to the jury and answers the question to the jury.
I was going to say he does too much of that.
Right out the,
it's a textbook. This is how to do it. But he's an investigator. In theory, you think he's probably attended some court hearings for some of his cases. So he's got some experience there. His lawyer probably prepped him, as a lawyer should do, to say, answer to the jury, look him in the eye. They'll believe you if you look him in the eye. But I actually found the way he keeps looking back for reassurance. Oh, I think we've got somebody else calling in. Looking back for reassurance to the lawyer, like he was doing too much of this, the back and forth.
Like I said, page out of the Amber Heard book. That's why I said I think that he watched the trial.
Well, if he gets up there and he starts crying, he's like, and my dog stepped on a bee, then I'm going to believe him. I'll believe it. So, Angela, I've got to let you go. Thanks for the call. Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Man, interesting. I can't believe we left it right there, that this is the point that we're wrapping it up for the day. I'm super excited for tomorrow is what I am. I don't know if Rob's going to be able to make it in. Oh, we've got people. Let's see. We might have some other court watchers in court tomorrow too. Hello? The call didn't work. Let's try this again. Try the call again. It just did not. Why is that still doing that? Okay. Phone's not working. Burner phone, cheap. Might have to replace it. We are on a court cliffhanger. We are. The story is not ringing for me. It's not ringing true. Okay, let's see. I've got a lot of texts coming in, and some of the calls are not working. Okay, I've shut down the burner phone. Started again. Okay, now try calling. That should fix it. Third try is the time. Yeah. It'll work this time. Hope it's AWOL calling. Last chance to hit the like. Phil, are you trying to call in? I think I'll gotta go tomorrow. Phil, that would be awesome. I'd love to get your take. Rob might be there from Law and Lumber. I don't know what his schedule is tomorrow, but I know he's interested in the case. He was in there a little bit today. I believe he has on his agenda. Obviously, things can change, but Friday Night Frenzy will be coming back this week on Friday, and it would be great to have his take on being in the courtroom, especially for this, the juicy part of the testimony. Will there be snow in Virginia tomorrow? I don't think so. I mean, I don't think new snow is going to fall, not till the weekend, if that. So if there is any, it's just from residual from before. Just hasn't melted yet. Oh, man. Did he call 911 on his way home? He didn't. But we also don't know what the au pair said, because that would be hearsay, right? We can't hear from Brendan that the au pair called me and said, hey, there's a man with a rope and handcuffs and a knife and a gag or whatever. I don't remember everything he had. That just went in the house. Never seen him before. We don't know what she said. It has been a while. It's gonna be great to see Rob again. He's been busy for the last couple months. Lady Draconis, speaking of Rob's channel, there's one of his mods. Good to have you here. Let's see. So they're going to be in court tomorrow and Friday too. Virginia Little, we don't know for sure that the Friday 2 is going to happen. It depends on how much testimony there is. It's possible defense could be done on Thursday. I don't think we'll have, with where we are right now in this testimony, I don't think we're going to have that and closings tomorrow, but it's still a possibility that closings could come on Friday or on Monday. So I smirk when I'm nervous. Actually got reamed out in college class for that exact thing, but I couldn't control it. Facial expressions don't always mean anything. I know, I'm trying to find his baseline to see if he's telling the truth or not. I'm just waiting for Cross. It might be McDonald's restroom all over again. Oh, the look on the prosecutor's face, she is just, first of all, she's letting him talk. Just like go on and on and on. Finally just says, objection, that's too much, right? We can only see so many years of family photo album from 4 years ago before we say, wait, now just tell us stuff that's relevant. So I know she's keeping notes. We can hear her typing, so we know stuff's getting prepped for that. Okay, Baby Shark says, also separation and when Christine died. He supposedly witnessed, and he talks about it like an unfortunate side quest. Okay, that was terrible. That was like a, foreshadowing, a precursor, whatever you call it, of what is going to come. He has to talk about that in detail, right? He has the one thing that the jury is most interested about in everything he says isn't about where Christine kept her laptop or what, where his office was compared to her office or the hours that Julianne worked. That's nice to know, and it helps form out a big picture. But what happened that morning after he went in the house and before 911 was called, that block in time is going to be crucial. And if he is struggling to find the words to describe the event, oh my goodness, I think the jury's going to roast him and be like, oh, done, I've heard enough. Prosecution will. So that's going to be awesome tomorrow for that. Let's see. If my hubs was up there and Joe really was the red drummer, my hubs would emotionally say when she was killed, not when she died. Yeah. There's that. All right. Well, all this means is that you guys can't miss tomorrow. I'm sorry, you can't miss tomorrow. This is going to be must-watch courtroom direct testimony. It's rare. It's rare when you get the defendant up on stand, probably for a good reason. I think that we're going to learn that reason again tomorrow. I don't see this going well for him. I've said that before and been proven wrong. Like Dean Cummings, for instance. I didn't think he should testify. He got up on the stand and knocked it out of the park, found not guilty, released, and everything was good. But the story, the way it started, he still hasn't explained the windows, the 911 call, the pause, the hang up. There's just so much that we just don't know. Maybe he puts it together and it makes more sense than the au pair. And I think for his sake, it's got to, because right now the au pair seems really believable and he looks like someone who's less believable. That's in my mind. All right. What time tomorrow? I think tomorrow they've been starting at 10 o'clock, so we'll be starting at 9:30, just to get the morning pleasantries out of the way. It is Thursday. Tomorrow's also podcast day, so you can join us for the podcast at 8 o'clock tomorrow night, and then on to Friday. So 2 more days of this, and if I hit the right music, it'll be even better. All right, Friday Eve. Thank you all for being here. If you're new here, please hit the subscribe button before you leave, and then come back, hang out with us. It's a lot of fun. We all like the same things. We like watching court. We like watching the judicial process play out in the courtroom. We like good lawyers and spicy judges and interesting witnesses and intriguing cases, and we've got those in spades this year. It's getting so good. Corey Richards is just around the corner, if that doesn't get pushed out yet again because of some of the things they've filed. But it's a good time to be a true crime addict. Thank you all for being here and making this all possible. Tonight when you go home, please hug the people you love. Smile at someone, make their day just a little bit better. Please stay safe till we go live again tomorrow morning, 9:30 for a start. We'll be back. Mr. Brendan Banfield will be on the stand taking questions from his lawyer, and the state will be taking notes, and I can't wait to hear what those notes say. You guys, it's going to be great. Grab some Deer Park water, not yet a sponsor. See this down there? Not a sponsor. Grab some Deer Park water, and then tell them to sponsor the show. Appreciate you guys. Have a good night. Bye.
Don't miss the forest with the trees.
Thank you, sir. You're my new best friend.
Shame on you, sir.
In front of the Walmart.
I'm not a cat.
The zombie apocalypse may be upon us.
I was kicked back, taking it easy.
I'm going to sustain my own objection.